Chapter 257. Go back with him to take a look? Zhao Yun was not stupid. How could she be willing to do that? If she really went, who knew what kind of danger would be waiting for her? Why aren't you saying anything? Are you unwilling? I've shown you the evidence, but you don't even want to look at it. What else can I say? Young Master Meng, you have money and power. You can make a dead person alive. What else can I say? However, please be magnanimous and let go of the innocent girl. You're so rich. What kind of girl can't you buy with money? You don't have to hold on to her and not let her go, right? Zhao Yun could only persuade from another angle. She knew in her heart that if he really needed evidence, this young Master Meng could also forge one. Young Master Meng was originally interested in Uncle Chen's daughter. Now that he saw Uncle Chen's daughter crying, his interest immediately disappeared. There were many such women in his family. If he took them back, he would probably be annoyed in the end. On the contrary, Zhao Yun was very interesting. If he married her as a concubine, it should be something special. Young Master Meng smiled and said to Zhao Yun, since you said so, then we'll do as you say. As young Master Meng spoke, he called his subordinates to release Feng, who was trapped. Zhao Yun was slightly surprised for a moment. She felt strange in her heart. This man was so easy to talk to? A sense of conspiracy emerged in Zhao Yun's heart. Feng jumped in front of Uncle Chen and began to cry in Uncle Chen's arms. Father, Feng, don't be afraid. Father is here. Uncle Chen patted Feng's back. Young Master Meng came in front of Zhao Yun and said with a smile, Young Master, are you satisfied with this? Zhao Yun looked at young Master Meng suspiciously and said faintly, you won't go back and continue to make trouble for them, right? Young Master, this young master will definitely not go back on his words. If I let her go, I'll let her go. How will I have the time to go again in the future? Zhao Yun looked at young Master Meng's expression and felt that he wasn't lying. However, what Zhao Yun could not understand was why things had changed so quickly. She had come all the way here to snatch him away, and all she did was say a few words, and he was going to let him go? Thank you, young Master Meng. Uncle Chen took Feng's hand and thanked young Master Meng. Now that he had said that he would let them go, it would be too late if they didn't leave now. Thinking about it, they couldn't stay in Sun City any longer. This time, they would pack up and leave. Even if young Master Meng wanted to snatch her away, he wouldn't be able to find them. After the father and daughter left, Zhao Yun breathed a sigh of relief. Now, she was sure that there was no problem. Zhao Yun also intended to leave, but was stopped by young Master Meng. Zhao Yun frowned warily and asked, What do you want? Little girl, I've done as you said and let him go. Can't we have a little chat? Zhao Yun retorted in annoyance. Talk about what? What do we have to talk about? Zhao Yun's cold and slightly arrogant personality made young Master Meng like her even more. His desire to conquer Zhao Yun also grew stronger. Naturally, young Master Meng knew that he couldn't force a woman like Zhao Yun. She was very stubborn. If he forced her, he was afraid that Zhao Yun might even commit suicide. If she died, there wouldn't be any meaning. Chapter 258. Zhao Yun snorted coldly in her heart. He was not a bad person? Would she believe him? Young Master Meng, that's just how I am. Don't treat me like an outsider. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave. Zhao Yun turned around. Young Master Meng knew that Zhao Yun was most likely going to ignore him, and he could not stop her. If he wanted to conquer this woman, he would have to take his time. Anyway, he had plenty of time. Miss, before you leave, can you tell me your name? We're not familiar with each other, so it's not convenient for me to tell you. Zhao Yun said arrogantly and turned around. She only heaved a sigh of relief when she was far away. Fortunately, young Master Meng did not follow her. When she returned to the village, it was close to noon. Zhao Yun realized that Liang Jinxiao had come over. Her heart could not help but tighten. Did Liang Jinxiao enter her house? If he entered the house, wouldn't he see Mu Lianfeng in her house? Zhao Yun braced herself and walked over. Liang Jinxiao and a few other children were sitting on a big rock in the courtyard. Daodu was snuggling in Liang Jinxiao's arms. "Mother, why are you here?" Zhao Yun'er walked over and asked. "Nothing big. We're having a wedding in 2 days. Your grandfather asked me to come over and inform you. You can attend the wedding then." Zhao Yun'er was curious. "Mother, is there a wedding in our old Zhao family? They're having a wedding?" Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, "It's your eldest cousin brother." Zhao Tianlong? Now that he was married, what other joyous occasion was there to celebrate? Liang Jinxiao then explained, "Your eldest cousin brother has fought for our old Zhao family this time. He was selected by the academy and will be sent to the capital to further his studies in half a month. I have an 80% chance of becoming a high scholar in this year's imperial examinations." The study that Liang Jinxiao mentioned was a policy of Yangqing County. In order to nurture talents, Yangqing County would hold an advanced study every year. A few talents would be selected from all the academies in Yangqing County and sent to the capital. They would find the best teachers there and undergo a few months of intensive training before the examination. Normally, there would be a limited number of places in the academies. Most academies might not even be able to accommodate one person. However, once selected and trained in the capital, the chances of becoming a high scholar would be greatly increased. Many people in Sun City had passed the imperial examination and become a high scholar through this round of advanced studies. Then they rose through the ranks and made a fortune. Who would have thought that Zhao Tianlong would have some ability? Come to think of it, she had never seen Zhao Tianlong with her own eyes after coming to this world for so long. "All right, mother, I'll go to the wedding banquet." Liang Jinxiao nodded and then asked about Zhao Yun'er's situation. He only relaxed after confirming that Zhao Yun'er's family was doing well. "All right, Yun'er. It's a good thing that your eldest cousin brother is studying. The government will pay for part of the expenses, but you have to pay for it too. You have to prepare at least 20 taels of silver for your eldest cousin brother when the time comes. Now that he has to study for Tianfu, the family is in a mess. So, the farm work at home is almost done. Your father is preparing to go to Sun City with Tianan to find some odd jobs. Mother, won't it be too tiring?" How old was Zhao Tianan? He was still a child. How could he do so much work? "It's okay. If he stays at home, the chores at home will be too tiring. Why don't he go to Sun City to work? He can even keep the other families in check." Chapter 259. She also felt that it was good to go out. In old Zhao's house, the third branch had done the most work. Liang Jinxiao relaxed for a while, then got up and left. After Liang Jinxiao walked away, she didn't mention Mu Lianfeng. Zhao Yun'er breathed a sigh of relief. Zhao Yun'er asked the two children, "Didn't Grandma go into the house?" Daodu raised his little face and said sweetly to Zhao Yun'er, "Mom, Grandma was going to go in, but Daodu stopped her. Daodu knows that even Grandma can't see Daddy." Daodu was already used to calling Mu Lianfeng Daddy. Zhao Yun'er touched Daodu's head and nodded. "Daodu is the best. Let's go in." Zhao Yun'er held the two children's hands and went in. Mu Lianfeng was lying on the bed. As soon as he saw Zhao Yun'er, there was a smile in his eyes. "Yun'er, why do I feel like I've been hidden in a house?" Mu Lianfeng's tone was a little flirtatious. "Mr. Mu, you're considered a girl, but my shabby house is not a house. Your analogy is a little inappropriate." Seeing Zhao Yun'er's serious tone, Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but smile. "Yun'er, why are you so serious?" "I'm just joking." Zhao Yun'er found that her thoughts had completely caught up with Mu Lianfeng's rhythm. After lunch and a short rest, Zhao Yun'er took the two children to catch bullfrogs in the field. She wanted to save more money now. After hearing what Mu Lianfeng said today, she thought of her shabby house and really needed to build a new one. She didn't have the ability to pay dozens of taels of silver now. These days, there were fewer and fewer children helping to catch bullfrogs. Zhao Yun'er found that these children didn't help her catch bullfrogs, but they caught them themselves. The field was only so big. Zhao Yun'er still bumped into Qin Hailan. Qin Hailan also took Gooden to catch bullfrogs, and the children directly gave the bullfrogs to Qin Hailan. Looking at the bullfrogs in Qin Hailan's basket, They probably weighed 20 to 30 kilograms. Zhao Yun'er's brows couldn't help but twist. This was already very obvious. It was most likely that Qin Hailan got the information about her catching bullfrog from Gooden's mouth. But if Qin Hailan got her hands on the bullfrog, where did she sell it to? Seeing Zhao Yun'er coming over, Qin Hailan still caught the bullfrogs openly without any guilt. "Hey, sister-in-law, what are you catching?" asked Zhao Yun. Qin Hailan glanced at Zhao Yun'er and snorted. "Don't you know what I'm catching? Why do you ask when you already know the answer?" Zhao Yun'er curved her lips. "I just don't know how you know how to catch them. Did you learn from me?" Zhao Yun'er's words made Qin Hailan a little flustered and exasperated. "Learn from you? Why can't I catch bullfrogs when you catch them? Do they belong to your family?" "No, but you know clearly what you've done wrong. Don't think of the same way when you see others making money. It won't be good if something bad happens." "Zhao Yun, are you threatening me?" "No, it's just a reminder. Let's go, Gooden. You're so crazy. I don't know what you're talking about," Qin Hailan said angrily and pulled Gooden away. Chapter 260. In the end, Zhao Yun'er wouldn't blame a child. Gooden was probably scared by Qin Hailan, which was why he said it out loud. Zhao Yun'er was currently curious about who Qin Hailan sold the bullfrogs to. Sun Zhangquan's restaurant relied on the bullfrogs to make the restaurant's business flourish. Other restaurants were envious and might imitate him. Therefore, it wasn't impossible for Qin Hailan to sell these bullfrogs to other restaurants. Zhao Yun'er sighed. Forget it. When the boat reached the bridgehead, everything would be fine. It was useless for her to worry about this and that now. In the afternoon, Auntie Lu sent the bullfrogs over. The first time, there weren't many of them. Many people probably weren't sure if they would be paid for catching these things. There were a total of 60 caddies. To Zhao Yun'er, this was already not bad. 60 caddies. If the two families split them equally, it would be 600 copper coins. Zhao Yun'er had been busy until the evening, only then did she finish peeling these bullfrogs. Among the 60 caddy bullfrogs that were sent over, there were also a few toads that were thrown out by Zhao Yun. It wasn't that toads couldn't be eaten. The skin of this thing was poisonous. If it wasn't handled properly, it was very likely that it would leave behind toxins. Eating it into the stomach might lead to poisoning. Zhao Yun'er was too lazy to take that risk. She didn't care about earning a little more money. After dinner, it was already late at night. It was probably 7 or 8 o'clock. In the 21st century, it might not be considered late. In ancient times, it was rare to eat so late. Zhao Tianfu saw that it was late, so he went back early. He would eat at old Zhao's house tonight. At night, after lighting a lamp, Zhao Yun'er placed the dishes on the table and ate with Daodu and Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng's heart ached when he saw how tired Zhao Yun was. He asked, "Miss Yun, my injuries will probably heal in about 10 days. When that time comes, are you willing to live with me in Yang City with Daodu?" It was not that they had to live in the Shitzi estate. Since he had money, he could buy a courtyard for Zhao Yun'er and arrange for some servants to live there. This would allow the mother and son to live comfortably. Sun City? Live with you? Zhao Yun'er asked with uncertainty. No, you and I will arrange accommodation for Miss Yun'er and you. You don't have to live with me. Mu Lianfeng hurriedly explained, afraid that Zhao Yun'er would misunderstand. Zhao Yun'er said, "Oh, we don't have the money to buy a house in Yang City. Actually, it's not bad to live in the countryside." If they went to Yang City, Daodu would probably not have any friends to accompany him. In addition to the strange things in the village, Zhao Yun'er also liked this kind of rural and pastoral life. "It's okay, Miss Yun'er. I can buy everything for you. I will arrange everything for you." Zhao Yun'er chuckled. "Young Master Mu, you can't do this. If I didn't know better, I would think that you have a mistress outside. I don't want to be misunderstood." Zhao Yun'er's words made Mu Lianfeng feel a little embarrassed and his face turned slightly red. Raising Zhao Yun'er as a mistress? How could that be possible? If he really got together with Zhao Yun'er, he would naturally marry her openly. "Young Master Mu, Daodu and I are doing well in the countryside. You don't have to worry about us, Zhao Yuner said again. She understood that Mu Lianfeng was just concerned about her. However, she had hands and feet. Mu Lianfeng had helped her so much previously. She did not want to continue receiving favors for no reason. Chapter 261. Early the next morning, Zhao Yun carried a basket full of bullfrogs to Yang City. Including the ones she caught herself, it was a total of 70 caddies. Zhao Yun discussed it with Auntie Lu. She wouldn't get a share of the money from selling the bullfrogs this time. She still had 600 copper coins. With the money she earned from selling the bullfrogs today, it was just enough to buy a little donkey. Sun Zhangquan didn't expect that Zhao Yun would really send over a lot of bullfrogs today. Although there were a lot of them, Sun Zhangquan had no reason not to accept them. In any case, these things sold well. No matter how many restaurants he bought, he would be able to sell them. After Sun Zhangquan settled the bill for Zhao Yun, Zhao went straight to the market and began to choose a donkey. In the donkey market, there were also horses, mules, and cows for sale. They were all tools used for transportation or transporting goods. Generally, only rich people would buy horses. As for the mule and donkey, people like Zhao Yun will think about it. The cows that are sold are relatively small. She will buy a calf and raise it. When the calf grows up, it can be used to plow the field, pull goods, and so on. There were more shops selling things. Zhao Yun began to slowly choose. After comparing, the last shop gave her the same price as the others. However, they gave her a wooden cart that could be pulled by a donkey. The cart could probably seat 3 or 4 people. It wasn't big, but it could be used to carry goods. It was a total of 1 or 260 copper coins. When Zhao Yun returned, she drove her little donkey. It was much more convenient and faster than old Father Hu's ox cart. It was also easier to feed the donkey. She just needed to feed it some grass. However, the donkey wasn't big. She still had to take good care of it later. It was a little small now, so she couldn't carry heavy goods for him. She had to wait until it was a little bigger before she could carry more important things. Zhao Yun's little donkey was a pity. When she arrived at the village, many people came over to join in the fun. They stared at her donkey for a while. Yun'er girl, you've really grown up. You even bought a little donkey. That's right. No one in the village has ever bought it. It must be worth a lot of money, right? Of course it was before. None of us can afford it. In the future, it will be much more convenient to have a donkey in Xiangyang City or town. The villagers surrounded Zhao Yun'er's donkey, which made Zhao Yun speechless. Although the villagers couldn't afford much of it, it didn't mean that it was rare. Most likely, they were curious as to how a poor person like her could afford it. The donkey was pitiful. It was in an unfamiliar environment and had to be surrounded. It was clearly afraid of such words. Yun'er girl, it seems that if you go to the city in the future, you can bring a few of us along. A woman came up to Zhao Yun'er with a smile. It was obvious that she wanted to get closer to Zhao Yun'er. The next time Zhao Yun'er went to the city, she could really bring her along. That's right. Yun'er girl is a good person. If it's on the way, I'll definitely bring her along. A chubby woman also came up and said. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the fat on the fat woman's body and thought that if she were to bring her along, she would break their family's donkey. These people really knew how to take advantage of others. They were all shameless. Chapter 262. The moment they heard Zhao Yun'er say that they wanted to collect money, these people were instantly displeased. Yun, lass, we just want you to bring us along. If we give you money, is it still convenient? You can't be so stingy that you're going to argue with us villagers over 3 copper coins, right? Zhao Yun only felt that these people were a little funny. They were really thick-skinned to a certain extent. That was why they had the nerve to say anything. Zhao Yun curled the corners of her lips and said with a smile, Auntie, you're wrong. I spent money to buy this little donkey. How can it be free to carry people? Just like when you go to Yang City, can old man whose ox cart give you a free ride? These women could not refute Zhao Yun'er's words. It was not that easy to take advantage of others for free. Thus, one by one, they snorted softly. Stingy. Isn't it just a little donkey? Who wants it? That's right. Who wants it? Zhao Yu laughed coldly in her heart. It was best if they didn't want it. She treasured her little donkey. After driving the little donkey home, Daodu and Zhao Tianfu ran over excitedly and stared at the little donkey. Mother, what is this? This is a donkey, Zhao Yun explained. Mother, Daoud has never seen one before. Daodu's eyes were filled with curiosity. It was obvious that he was very happy. Zhao Yun carried the two children onto the cart and let the little donkey wander around the house a few times. The two children were even happier. Children were like this. They were always full of curiosity when it came to new things. When Zhao Yun stopped, the two children still reluctantly got off the wooden cart. With a donkey, it would be much more convenient. If there was a chance in the future, she would take the two children out to take a look and let them know what Yang City was like. Mother, can Daodu touch it? Sure, but be careful, it might kick you. Oh, Daodu, be careful. Daodu touched the donkey's nose with his little hand. The donkey brayed twice and raised its head. Clearly, it didn't want Daodu to touch it. The donkey wasn't familiar with her family yet, so it was normal for it to resist. Zhao Yun stopped Daodu from touching her. Zhao Yun untied the wooden cart on the donkey and led the donkey into the wooden shed. The wooden shed wasn't big, and Lu Lei had helped build it in the past. Usually, there would be some wood in the shed, so it was just right for a donkey. Mother, what does it eat? Should we give it the same food as Little Black for lunch? Let's prepare a bowl for it too. Zhao Yun listened to Daodu's soft and cute words and was amused by Daodu. After the donkey came, it seemed like Little Black's status in the family would be affected. Zhao Yun shook her head and said to Daodu, Little Mao and Little Black eat different things. Little Mao can eat grass. Daodu can get some grass for it to eat. The donkey brayed again when it heard Zhao Yun's words. How could this woman casually give it a name? Little Mao? Wasn't it too old-fashioned? The mother. Then Daodu and little uncle will go get some grass for us. Daodu ran off like a wisp of smoke. Not long after, he came back with a bunch of grass. Chapter 263. Daodu walked over to the donkey with the grass in his hand. The donkey, which was originally very arrogant and cold, suddenly changed its attitude. It stretched out its mouth and rubbed against Daodu's side. It stared at the grass in Daodu's hand, and its black eyes lit up. Daodu didn't mind the donkey's arrogance from before. Instead, he put the grass in his hand next to the donkey's mouth and motioned for it to eat. The donkey curled its tongue, and soon, all the grass in Daodu's hand was in its mouth. Daodu chuckled as he fed the donkey. When the donkey was full, Daodu didn't have much of a reaction when he petted it again. Xiao Mao is full, Zhao Yun said. It was true that even animals understood the principle of one must be soft-mouthed after receiving gifts from others. Mother, Xiao Mao isn't resisting anymore. Daodu said excitedly to Zhao Yun. Of course, it ate the grass you picked. Hee, then Daodu will pick more grass for Xiao Mao in the future. Little He was a little jealous when he saw Daodu's attitude towards Xiao Mao. He ran over with his meatball-like body and barked at Xiao Mao. Woof woof woof, Little He, what's wrong with you? Why are you barking at Xiao Mao? You're all a part of the family in the future. You have to get along well. Daodu squatted down and patted Xiao Mao's head. Zhao Yun was amused by Daodu's adorable look. She felt very warm at this moment. Little He looked up at Daodu, but still barked a few times at Xiao Mao. The small puppy bared its teeth and pretended to be fierce. It was a little comical. Xiao Mao didn't care about such a big puppy's barks at all. He glanced at Xiao He indifferently and let out a soft snort as a response. Zhao Yun was a little suspicious when she saw Xiao Mao's arrogant look. Was this little donkey a spirit? Woof woof woof, Little He felt that he was being looked down upon. He angrily rushed in front of Xiao Mao and wanted to bite it. Unfortunately, before he could get close to Xiao Mao kicked him away. It seemed that Little He's kick wasn't light. Daodu quickly picked Little He up and rubbed him in his arms. Little He, are you okay? Because of the pain, Little He whimpered in Daodu's arms after being asked by Daodu. Zhao Yun's eyes. She didn't know whether to laugh or not. Speaking of which, Blackie really didn't know his limits. Such a small puppy fighting against such a big donkey, wasn't that just courting death? At the very least, he had to wait until it was as big as its mother. Xiao Mao was really polite. It only kicked little He once. If it wasn't polite, it could have stomped little He to death. Daoist let out a sigh, shook his head and reprimanded, "Little Black, how can you be like this? You and Xiao Mao will be a family in the future. You have to love each other, okay? And Xiao Mao, little He is still young. Don't bully it too much." Little He continued to woof woof. Zhao Yun's mouth evoked a touch of warmth. Such a Daoist is really cute. Zhao Yun didn't rest for long before Liang Jinxiao ran over. Chapter 264. Yun'er, let's go. Liang Jinxiao pulled Zhao Yun and was about to leave. Zhao Yun looked puzzled. Go? Mother, where are we going? Liang Jinxiao took a deep breath. He was confused when he was anxious and did not explain clearly what was going on. Hence, he stopped in his tracks. Yun, someone drove a carriage to old Zhao's house today. He even brought a lot of things over. He said that they were for you, so your grandfather asked me to come over and call you, Liang Jinxiao explained. She was puzzled. Where did this person come from and bring so many good things to her daughter? Her daughter usually did not come into contact with any rich people. Zhao Yun was also puzzled when she heard Liang Jinxiao's words. Mother, what's going on? Who's here? Zhao Yun asked. Liang Jinxiao shook his head. I don't know either. Since he is here to bring you things, I thought you knew. She knew nothing. However, apart from curiosity, she also felt a little uneasy. After all, there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world. Who knew what the other party's purpose was? Zhao Yun followed Liang Jinxiao to old Zhao's house. Just as Liang Jinxiao said, there was a luxurious carriage parked in the courtyard of old Zhao's house. Such a luxurious carriage was very eye-catching in the village. There were already many people at the entrance of old Zhao's house who wanted to see what was going on. Then, the women gathered together and began to chatter non-stop. The people of old Zhao's house were all in the courtyard, very warmly receiving the person who brought the things over. Zhao Yun walked over to take a look. It was a man in his 20s. She had never seen him before, so she did not recognize him at all. Seeing Zhao Yun coming over, Hu Chunhua showed a rare good attitude. She greeted Zhao Yun with a smile and said, "Girl Yun, come here, come here." Zhao Yun frowned. She was disgusted by Hu Chunhua's face. She was so fake. Li Chuang and Zhao Xinhui, who used to dislike Zhao Yun, also greeted Zhao Yun with a smile. What the hell are they doing? Zhao Yun still walked over. She didn't care what tricks they were playing. After all, she wasn't someone to be trifled with. Hu Chunhua smiled and held Zhao Yun's hand. She introduced her to the man in his 20s. Sir, this is our family's Yun. Zhao Yun pulled her hand away from Hu Chunhua's with some disgust and said sarcastically to Hu Chunhua, Grandmother, you are much more enthusiastic today. Hu Chunhua smiled awkwardly. Yun, look at what you're saying. It's as if I'm not treating you well. You're my biological granddaughter. What's wrong with me being close to you? Zhao Yun didn't know where Hu Chunhua got the cheek to say such words. Didn't she feel disgusted? That's enough, grandmother. Don't be hypocritical. Aren't you just pretending in front of this gentleman? Zhao Yun exposed her without leaving any face. Hu Chunhua couldn't help but want to curse, but in the end, she suppressed it. What was a little bit of anger? Money was more important. Chapter 265. That's right, we're family. You're also part of our family. We'll treat you well in the future, Li Chuang said hypocritically, just like Hu Chunhua. Zhao Yun's lips curled into a mocking smile. Second aunt, what are you saying? We've already split up, yet you're trying to make us so close. In the past, you wouldn't even let me come over when I came over to this courtyard. You little girl, why are you always so calculative about the past? Li Chuang smiled embarrassedly, feeling like she had been slapped in the face. However, she didn't bicker with Zhao Yun. When the man in his 20s saw Zhao Yun, he said respectfully, "Miss Yun, my family's young master asked me to deliver these things to you. He hopes that you can accept them." Zhao Yun glanced at the things in the carriage. There were some cloth, gold, silver, jewelry, and some more precious food, such as bird's nest and glossy Ganoderma. The things in the carriage were all treasures. They were worth a lot of money. It was obvious that he was a rich man. After Zhao Yun took a look, she didn't have any greed. No matter how good the things were, they didn't belong to her. She couldn't accept things that were given to her for free. What she needed to figure out now was who sent these things. "Young master, who is your family's young master?" "Miss Yun, my family's young master's surname is Meng. You've met him before." When the man said young master Meng, Zhao Yun immediately knew who he was. The young master Meng this man mentioned was probably the ugly man she bumped into in Yang City that day. Heavens, could it be that this man had his eyes on her? He even dug out her home address. When she heard that it was young master Meng who gave these things, Zhao Yun couldn't accept them. This young master Meng obviously didn't have any good intentions. Thus, Zhao Yun refused. "Young master, I'm sorry, but please go back and tell your young master that I cannot accept these things from him. Also, tell him not to have any thoughts about me." After Zhao Yun finished speaking, the other members of old Zhao's family suddenly became anxious, especially Hua Chunhua and Li Chuing. The two of them came up to persuade her. "Yuner girl, it wasn't easy for them to come all the way here to give you a present. Just accept it." "That's right. It's their good intentions. They even sent someone to give old Zhao's family so many good things. It shows that they're sincere. Don't waste their painstaking efforts. If you return it this time, they might send it back next time." Zhao Yun looked at Hua Chunhua and Li Chuing's faces. What they said sounded nice, but were they really thinking about her? They were just eyeing other people's good things. Zhao Yun completely ignored Hua Chunhua and Li Chuing's words and continued to say to the man, "Young master, please take your things back." The man frowned slightly, as if he didn't expect this to happen. "Miss Yun, my young master instructed me to send these things to you. If you don't accept them, I can't go back and report back." The man started to act pitiful. Zhao Yun said indifferently, "That's your problem. Anyway, I won't accept these things." After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she didn't want to continue arguing with these people. She turned her back and left old Zhao's courtyard. "Is there something wrong with this damn girl's head?" Hua Chunhua scolded angrily. Chapter 266. That's right. She actually rejected all the good stuff that was given to her for free. She must have been kicked in the head by a donkey. Li Chuing was also very angry. After all, the old Zhao family hadn't separated yet. If Zhao Yun really got these things and gave them to Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao, she would also enjoy a good life. Zhao Yun had left, but Hua Chunhua couldn't bear to let them take so many good things back. The man who sent the things over was also a little anxious. He didn't expect that a country girl wouldn't be moved by so many gold, silver, and jewelry. If he sent the things back, his master would scold him for being useless. He couldn't even handle such a small matter. "Auntie, can you persuade Miss Yun again?" the man asked Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua pursed her lips and said, "Young master, my granddaughter is very stubborn. It will probably take some time to persuade her." "Young master, I'm afraid you can't wait. How about this? Why don't you leave the things here? I'll persuade her again. I think she won't be able to accept it for the time being." The man thought about it and felt that Hua Chunhua was right. Anyway, his master asked him to send the things to Zhao Yun's house. He didn't say that Zhao Yun had to accept them. Zhao Yun's parents and grandparents could accept them on her behalf. "Then I'll have to trouble you, auntie. I'll have to explain it to my master when I go back," the man said gratefully to Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua didn't mind the trouble at all. She was more than happy to do it. Therefore, the whole family moved out and excitedly moved all the good things out of the carriage. Other than the gold, silver, jewelry, silk, satin, bird's nest, glossy Ganoderma, and other things that the country people didn't recognize. However, if it was together with the gold, silver, and jewelry, It was obvious that it was a treasure. If they couldn't afford it, they could take it to town and ask for money. Liang Jinxiao frowned. He did not agree with what Hu Chunhua had done. She asked cautiously, "Mother, this is not good. After all, these things are for Yuna." Yuna said that she doesn't want to accept them. "How can we accept them for her?" Hu Chunhua glared at Liang Jinxiao and said, "Your daughter is silly, so are you? Why wouldn't he want so many things? Your family's Tianfu just happens to need money to attend school. This is great. We don't have to worry about the school fees every year." Third sister-in-law, "Mother is right. Don't be silly. If you accept the gift, our Zhao family will have a good life. As for Yuna, go and persuade her again. When the time comes, we will still be a family. Ask her to move back and we will give her a room. It's not easy for a woman to take care of a child." Li Chuiying said. At this moment he remembered that Zhao Yunar's life was not easy. In fact, it was all calculated. If Zhao Yunar didn't come back, these things would be for Zhao Yunar. They couldn't take advantage of it. If they coaxed Zhao Yunar to come back, these things would belong to everyone in old Zhao's family. Everyone would be able to benefit from it. Liang Jinxiao didn't know how to refute. She knew that since they were targeted by Hu Chunhua and the others, they would never give up the idea of going back. Forget it. She had to talk to Zhao Yunar about it later. Hurry up and move it back. Third daughter-in-law, don't just stand there. Hurry up and help. Hu Chunhua called out. Liang Jinxiao sighed and began to help move the rest of the things down from the carriage. Chapter 267. Auntie, I'll take my leave first. I'll leave Miss Yunar in your care. Young master, take care. We won't see you off. After the carriage was far away, old Zhao's family members happily looked at the things that young Master Meng had sent over. So many jewelry, gold, silver, and jewelry. It's enough for our family to spend for a lifetime. Li Chuiying said with a smile. Not only can we spend for a lifetime, but we can't finish it no matter how much we eat. Old Zhao's family will live a good life. Hu Chunhua smiled until her eyes narrowed into slits. Especially the several gold ingots. They had never seen such large gold ingots before. Not to mention gold ingots, even silver ingots were rarely seen. Mother, since our family has so much money, why don't we build a house first? We can build a big brick house. We don't have to squeeze our whole family into such a small shabby adobe house. It's best if we can build a big courtyard and make it the best one in the village. Li Chuiying began to suggest again. What she wanted most was to be able to enjoy life. Old Zhao's family had been poor for so long. Now that they finally had some money, they should quickly buy the things that needed to be bought. Hu Chunhua felt that Li Chuiying's suggestion was good. We didn't have money before. Now that we have money, we should naturally build a big house. When the time comes, we should build a big house. Each of us will have one room. With that said, most of old Zhao's family members were looking forward to their future life. Zhao Pu went forward with a smile and asked, "Grandmother, will each of us girls have a room?" Hu Chunhua thought for a moment. There were too many people in the family. If each girl had a room, how big would the house be? Although they had money, they couldn't spend it casually. So she said, "The boys will have a room alone. The girls will have a room together." "Mother, I want a room alone. I don't want to squeeze with them." Zhao Xinhui shook Hu Chunhua's arm and said with a pout. Hu Chunhua naturally agreed with her precious daughter. "Mother is talking about others. Of course, you will have a room alone. Mother, I know you're the best to me. You love me the most." Zhao Xinhui smiled sweetly at Hu Chunhua. "Of course, you're my only daughter." In addition to building a house, old Zhao's family members were also discussing other things to add more things to the house and look forward to a bright future. For the excitement of the other families, Liang Jinxiao was worried. After all, they were holding Zhao Yun's things. If Zhao Yun didn't agree, these things had to be returned to her. How could they discuss how to spend it now? "Mother, this cloth is so beautiful. Do you remember? Last time we were in the cloth shop, they had this kind of cloth. They said it was dozens of silver taels for a bolt." Zhao Xinhui said. She touched the cloth happily as she spoke. Hu Chunhua also remembered after being reminded by Zhao Xinhui. She said, I remember. It seems that young Master Meng has sent good things. Mother, there are 7 or 8 bolts of cloth. I like these 2 bolts. Can you make 2 sets of clothes for me with these 2 bolts? Chapter 268. Of course it's fine if Hui wants to make them. Yuner won't be able to finish these 7 or 8 bolts of cloth by herself. It's just right for you to take 2 bolts, Hu Chunhua said. If Zhao Yuner was beside them and heard Hu Chunhua's words, she would probably be angered to death. This level of shamelessness is too amazing, isn't it? She was obviously giving her things to Zhao Xinhui. She made it sound as if she was helping Zhao Yuner solve the problem of the cloth. Thank you, mother. Zhao Xinhui's face was full of smiles. With beautiful clothes and so much money at home, she could be considered a young miss in the future. Zhao Xinhui couldn't wait to finish making the clothes and then wear them to walk around the village. Grandmother, there's still so much cloth left. Can you make 2 sets of clothes for Auntie and let me choose 1 bolt of cloth to make 1 set? Zhao Ping looked at Hu Chunhua expectantly. Do you think Hu Chunhua will agree? After all, she had asked Hu Chunhua to allocate a room for her and Hu Chunhua had agreed. Before Hu Chunhua could reply, Zhao Xinhui snorted coldly. Zhao Ping, why don't you take a look at your face? It's a waste for you to wear such good clothes. Do you want to wear better clothes to seduce someone? It's useless anyway. Men will vomit when they see your face. It's better for people to know their place. Zhao Xinhui mercilessly poked at Zhao Peng'er's sore spot. Zhao Peng'er looked at Zhao Xinhui angrily. This woman was too much. How dare she say that to her? However, Zhao Xinhui's arrogant and despotic manner was protected by Hu Chunhua. Zhao Peng'er knew that no matter how unhappy she was with Zhao Xinhui's words, she couldn't go against Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Peng'er suppressed the anger in her heart and complained, Auntie, how can you say that to me? If you can wear better clothes, can't I wear better clothes? Don't all girls like to wear good clothes? They don't need other men to look at them. It's fine as long as they look comfortable. Zhao Xinhui mocked again. She looked at Zhao Peng'er and raised her chin arrogantly. I wear good clothes because I'm pretty. In the future, a rich man will take a fancy to me and I'll marry into a good family. In the future, I'll lead the old Zhao family to live a good life. Can you do that? Hu Chunhua also chimed in. That's right. Being a girl, dress your auntie nicely. In the future, when your auntie marries into a good family, she'll lead us to a good life. It's a waste for you to wear it. But Auntie, my clothes are old and torn. I want new clothes. Then I'll buy you some coarse cloth to make clothes. Zhao Ping pouted and looked unhappy. This was too much. How could they treat her like this? No, she had to go back and talk to her parents. Since these things belonged to Zhao Yun, the old Zhao family couldn't keep them. They had to give them to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun had to give them to her parents. When the time came, she could ask them to share some of these good things with her. There are still a few bolts of cloth. Get one and make a set of clothes for Pan O, Hu Chunhua said with a smile. Hu Chunhua really loved this eldest granddaughter-in-law. She couldn't bear to part with other people, but she was generous to Shun Pan for once. Chapter 269. Now that her name was mentioned, Shun Pan couldn't pretend to be uninvolved. Hu Chunhua had good intentions, but Shun Pan was a sensible person. No matter how good something was, no matter how much she liked it, she wouldn't want it if she shouldn't have it. She didn't want to be implicated if anything happened. Thus, she smiled at Hu Chunhua and said, Grandma, I have clothes to wear. I don't need to dress up too well. Can you make a few more clothes for younger aunt? Younger aunt isn't married yet, so it's always a good thing to wear something nice. Shen Pan's tone was gentle, showing that she didn't fight for anything. At the same time, she was thinking for Zhao Xinhui. Everyone in old Zhao's family liked this kind of delicate and sensible person. Even Zhao Xinhui, who didn't like to get close to others, had a good impression of Shen Pan. Usually he would intimately hold Shen Pan's hand and chat with her. When Hu Chunhua heard Shen Pan's words, She looked at Shen Pan, with admiration. In old Zhao's family, she was the most sensible granddaughter-in-law. She didn't like her for nothing. If Pan says so, then forget it. But now, our family has money. When Tianlong goes to the capital to study, let him bring more money with him. After all, he has to socialize there. It's not good if he doesn't have money, Hu Chunhua said. Shen Pan, didn't reject Hu Chunhua's words. She didn't say whether the money was taken from the things she gave to Zhao Yun. It could be considered old Zhao's family's money. If anything happened in the future, she wouldn't have to take responsibility. It's only right to give Tianlong more money. When Tianlong passes the imperial examinations, he'll be able to help old Zhao's family, Li Chuiying agreed. Hu Chunhua was overjoyed. All right. Let's not stay in the house anymore. Let's go back inside. Move these things into the house. Don't show off your wealth. It won't be good if others see it. Hu Chunhua shouted. Okay. The others responded and began to move the things into the house. After everything was piled up in Hu Chunhua's room, the people who had gathered around old Zhao's house to watch the fun didn't leave. Instead, he was even more curious about what was going on. Was old Zhao's family going to make a fortune? Although they were all country bumpkins, they weren't country bumpkins. They didn't touch anything. He could still recognize gold, silver, and jewels. Who sent so many good things to old Zhao's family? Could it be that someone is here to propose marriage? That Zhao Xinhui is quite pretty. Perhaps a young master from a rich family has taken a fancy to her. That's possible. After all, she's so good-looking. Alas, nowadays it's good to be good-looking. If she can marry into a good family, it seems that old Zhao's family is going to live a good life. I think she's going to be someone's concubine. We country bumpkins definitely won't marry a rich man's wife. What's so good about being a concubine? No matter how rich she is, she's still a concubine. It's better for her to marry into a poor family. At least she's still a concubine. Someone couldn't stand it and said jealously, "You can't say that. We country bumpkins are poor. All we want is to live a good life." Since they sent so many things, it shows that they value Zhao Xinhui. If she marries into their family, she won't suffer too much. Chapter 270. The villagers gathered in the courtyard to discuss, but they couldn't come up with anything. Someone said, "Why don't we go and ask?" "We can go and ask. Look at how happy old Zhao's family is. They probably want people to ask. Let's go and ask." Therefore, the people who wanted to join in the fun gathered together and entered the courtyard of old Zhao's house. "Aunt Zhao, congratulations." "Yes, what's the big deal? Who sent you so many things?" Hu Chunhua was surrounded, and questions came from all around. She didn't know what was going on, so how could she explain it to these people? She said, "It's nothing." "How can it be nothing? I think it's a happy occasion." Hu Chunhua pursed her lips. "It's really nothing. If there's a happy occasion, I'll definitely let you know." "Aunt Zhao, you don't want to tell us. Why are you hiding something good from us? We're all villagers. Don't treat us like strangers." "That's right. Just tell us." Hu Chunhua didn't know how to respond. She couldn't say that she had received gifts from someone for Zhao Yun. She would be scolded to death. "But don't ask. When the day of the happy occasion comes, I'll definitely let you know. It's hard to say now." Hu Chunhua said vaguely to deal with the villagers. Seeing that Hu Chunhua didn't want to reveal anything, they knew that they wouldn't be able to get anything out of her even if they asked. "But let's go. Let's go." Old Zhao's courtyard, which was originally bustling with noise, suddenly became quiet. However, after the villagers asked, old Zhao's family began to pay attention. Who was this young Master Meng? Why did he send gifts to Zhao Yun? "Mother, why do you think he sent so many treasures to Yun?" Li Chuiying asked embarrassedly. She was also very curious. Hu Chunhua snapped, "How would I know? You're asking me, but who would I ask?" "Mother, do you think it's a rich young master who has taken a fancy to Yun?" Li Chuiying guessed. Otherwise, she couldn't think of a reason. "He has taken a fancy to Zhao Yun?" Hu Chunhua thought and sneered. "How's that possible? Who would take a fancy to Yun? Rich young masters have all kinds of women. Not to mention a woman with a child like Zhao Yun. Mother, then tell me why? They're not stupid. They definitely wouldn't send so many good things over for no reason. You're right. Could it be that someone has taken a fancy to Yun? I think so. But mother, it's good. Since someone has taken a fancy to Yun, it's a good thing. I think it won't be long. Our old Zhao's family is asking for her hand in marriage. Now that they've sent so many gifts, the gift money will definitely be more. Anyway, hasn't married yet. When the time comes, we'll marry her off. Li Chuang was a little excited as she spoke. When she thought of money, she was easily excited. It seemed that her life would be better in the future. Hearing Li Chuang's words, Hua Chunhua thought that it was true. Chapter 271. They sent so many good things over, but Zhao Yun didn't accept them, let alone let Zhao Yun get married. Moreover, Zhao Yun had already moved out of the family, so it was not easy to control her. Li Chuang smiled and said, Mother, why are you worried about this? After all, Yun is a member of our Zhao family. Her parents' orders and matchmakers' words, this girl's marriage will naturally be arranged by our elders. Besides, young Master Meng was not bad. To be able to marry such a rich man like young Master Meng, it was Yun's blessing. Many people in the village wanted to find a good family for their daughter, but they could not find one like young Master Meng. Why doesn't Yun agree? That's true. Although Yun has separated from the family, we still have to take care of her marriage according to the orders of her parents and the words of the matchmaker. That's right, Mother. The other members of the old Zhao family were listening. Zhao Ping was a little envious and jealous of Zhao Yun. Why could Zhao Yun marry into a good family? She wouldn't have to worry about food or clothes for the rest of her life. Liang Jinxiao frowned and said in a low voice, Mother, I still think that Yun has grown up. She can decide her own marriage. If young Master Meng wants to marry her, he has to ask for Yun's opinion. Li Chuang snorted and quickly fanned the flames in Hua Chunhua's ears. Sister-in-law, how can you be like this? You always disagree with our mother. Yun's marriage as an elder, of course, I can handle it. Besides, it's not harming Yun. Young Master Meng is such a good man. It's good enough that he likes a woman with a child. She has the right to be picky. Does she really think that she can find a better family? But Liang Jinxiao still frowned. There was nothing wrong with what she said, but it made people feel uncomfortable. Well, third brother's wife, don't talk so much. Let's talk about this later. Okay then, old Zhao's family members ran away. Hua Chunhua pulled Zhao Xinhui into her room and said to Zhao Xinhui, it's one thing to make beautiful clothes for you. Now, hurry up and pick a few pieces of jewelry that you like. It'll match with the clothes later. Hua Chunhua couldn't give Zhao Xinhui beautiful jewelry in front of the other branches. Otherwise, they would probably fight for it. Zhao Xinhui's eyes lit up. Mother, really? Of course it's true. Mother won't lie to you. But you can't pick too many. 3 pieces are enough. Zhao Xinhui nodded heavily and then began to pick from the box. In the end, she chose a gold hairpin, a gold bracelet, and a pearl necklace. Mother, do you think I look good wearing it? Zhao Xinhui waved the gold bracelet on her wrist in front of Hua Chunhua's eyes. My Hui naturally looks good wearing it. Mother, I think it looks good too, Zhang Xinhui said with a grin. She happily brought the jewelry into her room. After Zhao Yun went back, she hurriedly prepared lunch. However, she was a little absent-minded because of young Master Meng. Chapter 272. If young Master Meng really came with the character of old Zhao's family, they would definitely sell her out. Seeing Zhao Yun come back from old Zhao's house with a heavy heart, Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but worry. He asked, Miss Yun, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? Mu Lianfeng hoped that Zhao Yun could confide in him. If he had the ability, he would also help Zhao Yun solve her problem. Zhao Yun shook her head. Nothing. There are too many weirdos in my family. Did someone bully you? No, how could it be? How could those people bully me? Although those people in old Zhao's family were a little weirdos, they didn't dare to do anything to her. She was worried about young Master Meng. He was rich and powerful. He probably had connections with both the underworld and the legal world. If he wanted to make things difficult for a little peasant girl like her, it would be a simple matter. In this era, it was really difficult to live without money and power. For a commoner, someone with power could casually use some tricks to kill her. She didn't have anyone to rely on now. Naturally, she couldn't deal with someone like young Master Meng. Mu Lianfeng smiled slightly. Zhao Yun said it casually, but he knew that things were definitely not that simple. Miss Yun, if there's anything, please tell me. If I can help you, I will definitely help you. I definitely won't let anyone bully you. Mu Lianfeng said seriously, as if he was reminding Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun responded. She was very touched by Mu Lianfeng's actions. However, Mu Lianfeng wasn't anyone to her. She couldn't rely on him for a lifetime. If there was anything in the future, she had to deal with it herself. After recuperating for a few days, Mu Lianfeng's body was no longer like before. The wound on his ankle was almost healed, so it was fine if he moved slightly. Now, Mu Lianfeng could slowly move to the toilet by himself. Mu Lianfeng really didn't like using the cesspool in Zhao Yun'er's house. This was too simple and crude. It was just two wooden planks. With such a large person on top of it, there was a feeling that the planks would not be able to bear his weight. If the planks collapsed, his whole body would fall into the cesspool. So every time he went to the toilet, Mu Lianfeng was a little careful. He didn't want the planks to collapse. Many seeds planted in the vegetable garden in Zhao Yun'er's garden had sprouted, and a bunch of them had sprouted. Zhao Yun'er saw that it was almost time to fertilize the vegetables. There was nothing to do in the afternoon. Zhao Yun'er took a dung bucket and prepared to go to the latrine pit to get some dung to water. However, before Mu Lianfeng went to the toilet, he didn't greet Zhao Yun. When Zhao Yun'er pushed the door open, she saw Mu Lianfeng, who had taken off his pants, squatting in the cesspool. Both of them were stunned for a few seconds. Zhao Yun didn't expect Mu Lianfeng to be in the cesspool. She didn't see Mu Lianfeng come out of the house just now. Why did he suddenly appear out of nowhere? Mu Lianfeng didn't expect Zhao Yun to suddenly barge in. It wasn't good to tell Zhao Yun about the cesspool. Gradually, he could squat in the cesspool and unbuckle his pants. Naturally, he wouldn't trouble Zhao Yun. Miss Yun. Mu Lianfeng's face turned slightly red. He was a little embarrassed. Chapter 273. After Mu Lianfeng coughed awkwardly, Zhao Yun finally reacted. Zhao Yun quickly turned her back and rubbed her forehead. Oh my God, who could tell her what kind of embarrassing thing she had done again? She didn't know how to explain it to Mu Lianfeng now. I didn't know there was someone in the latrine. Young Master Mu, why didn't you tell me when you went to the latrine? I could have helped you. Zhao Yun said awkwardly, but if she didn't say anything, the atmosphere would be even more awkward. Thinking of the scene she saw just now, Zhao Yun was extremely embarrassed. Thinking about it, Mu Lianfeng was really pitiful. She had seen his entire body from head to toe. Since she had seen him naked, Zhao Yun wondered if she should be responsible for Mu Lianfeng. I can do it myself, so I didn't trouble Miss Yun. Does Miss Yun also want to go to the latrine? Do you want me to hurry? Mu Lianfeng asked. No need. Young Master Mu, you can take your time. I'll leave first. Just let me know when you're done. Zhao Yun said this and hurriedly ran away. When she reached the front yard, her entire face was red. It was probably the first time she had encountered such an embarrassing situation. When Daoist saw Zhao Yun like this, he quickly asked, Mother, what's wrong? Why is your face so red? Are you feeling unwell? Mother, it's nothing. Zhao Yun quickly said. Oh, Mother, it's good that you're fine. I'll continue to play with Xiao Mao. Daoist said in a soft voice. After a while, he ran away. He probably wanted to get some grass for Xiao Mao first and feed it to it later. Not long after, Mu Lianfeng came out of the latrine. Miss Yun, I'm done. Young Master Mu, you're so fast? Zhao Yuner felt a little guilty in her heart. Did she interrupt the other party's mood? Was that why it was done so quickly? Mu Lianfeng didn't know how to answer Zhao Yuner's question. After all, he also felt embarrassed. Then I'm going. Zhao Yuner took the dung bucket and went to the latrine. She got some dung and mixed it with some water. Then, she began to fertilize the vegetables in the vegetable garden. Once the excrement was stirred up, the entire courtyard was filled with that smell. However, the villagers seemed to be used to it. After all, they didn't have any other fertilizers, so they often fertilized their vegetables like this. When Zhao Yuner was doing it, her stomach churned a few times, and she felt a little nauseous. Unfortunately, she had to do it herself, and she had to endure the discomfort in her heart. Mu Lianfeng stood by the door and looked outside. He could see Zhao Yuner's figure busily working in the vegetable garden. A hint of heartache appeared in his eyes. He didn't expect that Zhao Yuner would have to do it herself. It was really too tiring. Although it was comfortable to stay with Zhao Yuner, Mu Lianfeng suddenly felt that it might be more comfortable to leave with Zhao Yuner and live a good life being served by others. Unfortunately, Zhao Yuner might not agree. At 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the village became lively again. Zhao Tianlong returned from the academy. Old Zhao's family would hold a banquet tomorrow. Her fifth uncle, Zhao Wenxing, also returned to the village. Chapter 274. Zhao Tianlong and Zhao Wenxing had rented an ox cart and the two of them sat on it. There were also some things on the cart. For tomorrow's banquet, other than some vegetables and meat dishes, they could buy everything in the village. For those that could not be bought, they bought them from the town and brought them back, saving them the trouble of making another trip. Naturally, this time, Zhao Tianlong's banquet was not a traditional one. It was just some delicious food and a banquet for the villagers to celebrate Zhao Tianlong's birthday. Of course, the villagers had to send gifts to old Zhao's family first. It was up to them to decide how much they wanted to send. In any case, they did not have to go by the traditional way. The ox cart passed by Zhao Yuner's house. Zhao Yuner originally did not want to join in the fun, but the ox cart finally stopped in front of her house. Zhao Wenxing walked down from the ox cart with a piece of pork in his hand. It was estimated to be 1 jin heavy. Since he was already in front of her house, Zhao Yuner had no reason to not see him. This was also the first time she met Zhao Tianlong face to face. This was the first time Zhao Yuner met her eldest cousin brother. He gave off a good impression. His face was very delicate and pretty, and he had a scholarly air about him. He was a little thin, but he was still tall and barely passable. A man like Zhao Tianlong was considered rare in the village. After all, it was hard to find a man who had studied and was not bad-looking. It was no wonder that Xin Pan was willing to marry into the village. She had probably taken a fancy to Zhao Tianlong. When Zhao Tianlong faced Zhao Yuner, he gave a faint smile and his attitude was neither cold nor warm. Zhao Yuner did not expect him to be so warm. After all, compared to the other people in old Zhao's family who looked down on her and gave her the cold shoulder, his attitude was much better. However, for some reason, Zhao Yuner could still feel the alienation and isolation from Zhao Tianlong. If the two of them had not met face to face, perhaps he would not even bother to greet her. This faint smile was only out of politeness and to ease the awkwardness. Zhao Wenxing carried the pork and handed it to Zhao Yuner. Yuner girl, I said that I would bring this for you from the town. Eat some with Daodu to nourish your body. Zhang Wenxing had used his own private savings to buy the pork. He remembered that his niece was living a difficult life, so he brought 1 jin of pork back from the town this time. The ox cart had stopped in front of Zhao Yuner's house was to give the food to Zhao Yuner in advance. Otherwise, after returning to old Zhao's house, if he wanted to send the pork to Zhao Yuner again, Hua Chunhua and the others would probably make a fuss again. Fifth uncle. Zhao Yuner saw that Zhao Wenxing was actually thinking about her. It would be a lie to say that she was not moved. Thinking about it, not everyone in old Zhao's family was a weirdo. There were quite a few decent ones. Why are you in a daze? Take it. But don't tell your grandmother and the others. Zhao Wenxing warned. Zhao Yun did not refuse. Since Zhao Wenxing had personally brought it back to her, it meant that he was sincere. Thank you, fifth uncle. You're welcome. Yun, your eldest cousin brother and I will go back first. If you want to play, you can go over in a while. It's probably lively at home. Today is a happy day. If you go over, your grandmother and the others will definitely not say anything. Zhao Yun was too lazy to go over, but in front of Zhao Wenxing, she did not refuse. Thus, she said, Okay, fifth uncle. You can go back first. But Chapter 275. It just so happened that she didn't buy meat today because she bought the donkey. Later, she would ask Zhao Wenxing to send her a caddy of pork, so she could add more food for the children at home. Mu Lianfeng propped himself up and walked behind Zhao Yun unknowingly. Zhao Yun turned around and almost bumped into Mu Lianfeng. Young Master Mu, why are you here? Zhao Yun asked. This man had suffered such a serious injury. Shouldn't he be lying in bed and recuperating? Why was he moving around so casually? Forget that, he even came to a place like the kitchen. The originally low wooden shed was occupied by Mu Lianfeng's tall body, and the space instantly became much smaller. Mu Lianfeng stood in front of Zhao Yun, like a tall mountain. It's so boring to stay in the house every day. I just want to follow behind Miss Yun, and look around. This kitchen is my first time entering. Mu Lianfeng said as his eyes glanced around and looked at the kitchen. Zhao Yun was stunned as she digested the meaning of Mu Lianfeng's words. Was there any other hint? Was he complaining that she didn't talk to him more? But she faced Mu Lianfeng every day. It was already awkward for a man and a woman to be alone. If they talked more, what could she and Mu Lianfeng talk about? After all, they weren't lovers, nor were they husband and wife. If they weren't talking about love, they definitely wouldn't have so much to talk about. Zhao Yun was even more afraid that after interacting with each other for a long time, feelings would develop over time. What if she really had that kind of deep affection for Mu Lianfeng? What should she do? Then if you're bored, follow me. But it seems like you'll still be bored? Why don't you play with Daodu? Zhao Yun asked. Mu Lianfeng pursed his lips and smiled. Miss Yuner, do you think I'm a child? No, I was just suggesting. Zhao Yuner seemed a little awkward. She did not think that Mu Lianfeng was as childish as a child. She had no other intentions. Mu Lianfeng must have misunderstood. I think it's better to be with Miss Yun. Miss Yun, just say a few words and I won't be bored, Mu Lianfeng said with a hint of craftiness in his eyes. Zhao Yuner pursed her lips. All right then. But in front of Mu Lianfeng, what could she say? Young Master Mu, why don't I tell you a few jokes? Zhao Yun thought about it and said to Mu Lianfeng. It was also good to let Mu Lianfeng have some fun. Miss Yuner, go ahead. Zhao Yuner thought about it and said. The bride walked out of the bridal chamber in pain early the next morning. She held the wall with one hand and covered her lower body with the other. She cursed loudly, what a liar. Before the wedding, she said that she had 30 years of savings. I thought it was money. After Zhao Yuner finished speaking, Mu Lianfeng was stunned. He did not seem to understand what Zhao Yuner meant by this joke. But after a while, he immediately responded. There was a hint of an ambiguous smile in his eyes. Zhao Yuner saw that Mu Lianfeng did not smile and was looking at her ambiguously instead. She frowned awkwardly. Her joke had simply blurted it out without much thought. At that time, the men in the office often whispered dirty jokes in her ear, so when she heard it, the moment she thought of the joke, she reflexively blurted out what they had said before. Now great. Chapter 276. She rubbed her forehead. She could not take back what she had said. It was useless to regret it. Miss Yuner's joke is quite interesting, Mu Lianfeng said with a smile. There was a hint of ambiguity in his tone. The corners of Zhao Yuner's mouth twitched, and she forced a smile. Is that so? Young Master Mu, you also think it's funny? Yes, I've never heard of jokes before. However, shouldn't the bride that Miss Yun mentioned be happy? There are very few people who can save this kind of savings for 30 years. After Mu Lianfeng finished speaking, the smile on Zhao Yun's lips froze. How should she answer this question? A 30-year-old virgin man, whether it was in the ancient times or the 21st century, seemed to be relatively rare. One had to know that in ancient times, people could usually get married in their teens. At most, they would not survive past their 20s. Mu Lianfeng in ancient times was definitely a golden leftover man. Zhao Yun laughed awkwardly. Yes, you should be happy. After all, it's not easy to find a virgin man. Young Master Mu, have you also accumulated savings for more than 20 years? Have you spent it? Zhao Yun was originally just curious, but she did not expect to ask involuntarily. The moment she blurted it out, Zhao Yun wanted to find a hole to hide in. What kind of questions was she asking? In the 21st century, she often joked with her male colleagues and did not have so many scruples. However, she was facing Mu Lianfeng now, not her colleagues. Mu Lianfeng was slightly stunned at first, then his eyes darkened. His expression was a little sad, as if he had thought of something unhappy. Seeing Mu Lianfeng's reaction, Zhao Yun roughly guessed that Mu Lianfeng's first time was probably gone. Zhao Yun did not know why she felt a little disappointed. Perhaps it was because she had some feelings for Mu Lianfeng, and she hoped that the other half she found in the future would not have sex with other women. Men and women might have some private parts. Thinking about it, it was normal for Mu Lianfeng to lose his first time at such an age and with such an identity. Even if they weren't married, those who were young and energetic would more or less have some physical needs. Mu Lianfeng suddenly asked, Miss Yun, do you care if a man is a virgin? Zhao Yun did not understand why Mu Lianfeng suddenly asked her this question. Should he ask her if she didn't care or not? Based on her answer, he could roughly guess that women generally didn't care. Mu Lianfeng stared at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun felt like she was being interrogated. Why did this guy want to know the answer to this question? I do care a little, but it doesn't mean that other women care. After all, it's normal for men to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. Zhao Yun said. In this society where men were superior to women, the social status of women was very low. Not to mention the extravagant hope that a man's first time was given to her, it was not easy for her not to share her man with other women. So, Miss Yun cares? Mu Lianfeng murmured, looking a little sad. Sigh. Mu Lianfeng sighed softly and looked at the courtyard. If there was no accident, then he would be a virgin now. Unfortunately. Chapter 277. Even if he didn't want to admit it, or rather, he didn't want that incident to happen, but it still happened. Thinking about what happened that night, Mu Lianfeng's forehead hurt. He tried hard to remember, but he didn't know why a woman suddenly came that night. The only thing he remembered was that there was a small, red lotus mark on her chest. It was beautiful and charming. He didn't know who this woman was and where she was now. He wasn't an irresponsible person. If he found her, he would definitely give her an explanation. Mu Lianfeng accompanied her to cook dinner. Zhao Yun was afraid that Mu Lianfeng would be bored to death by himself, so she didn't let him lie down and rest. Dinner was as sumptuous as ever because of the meat sent by Zhao Wenxing. In addition to the braised pork, Zhao Yun also cut some meat and made meatballs. The meat was minced and chopped together. She added some ginger and stuffed with some chopped green onions. The meatballs were made into meatballs and cooked with cabbage. The taste was not bad. Daoist held the bowl and ate, and secretly stuffed some meat into Little Black's mouth. Little Black was a dog, so he naturally liked to eat meat. The pork skin was quickly swallowed into his stomach. However, he was still a little puppy. His soft teeth couldn't bite the bones. He ate the meat skin happily. Zhao Yun also saw Daoist secretly stuffing food into the dog's mouth, but she didn't expose Daoist. This child would rather eat less than she wanted to share with Little Black. She was really sharing blessings with Little Black. Mother! Daoist ate and raised his head to look at Zhao Yun. What's wrong? Little Black eats meat, does little Mao eat meat? Little Mao doesn't eat meat. Zhao Yun shook her head. Donkeys ate grass just like cows, sheep, and horses. Oh. Daodu lowered his head, as if he still didn't believe it. He liked both Little Mao and Little Black. Why couldn't he give meat to Little Black and not Little Mao? The two of them couldn't be treated differently. Daodu quickly finished the rice in his bowl, wiped his mouth with his little hand, and said to Zhao Yun, Mother, I'm done. Why did you eat so quickly today? Is Mother's cooking not good? Zhao Yun was a little curious. It's delicious, but Mother, Daodu is really full. Okay, as long as you're full. Mother, I'll go see Little Mao. Daodu said. Zhao Yun's lips curled up. Okay, you can go. Daodu didn't dare to look her in the eyes. Zhao Yun is curious, what is Daodu going to do? Therefore, when Daodu want to go. Daodu went to the wooden shed and opened his palm to Little Mao. There was a piece of red braised pork in his palm. Little Mao, look, this is meat. It's very fragrant. My mother made it. Do you want to eat it? Daodu's serious and silly look almost melted Zhao Yun's heart. This silly child, how could a donkey eat meat? Although she wanted to share it with Little Mao, she could not believe what she said. What made Zhao Yun's jaw drop was that Little Mao sniffed the red braised pork in Daodu's palm, and actually stuck out its tongue, gently rolled it up, and put it into its mouth, chewing for a while. After eating the red braised pork, Little Mao still wanted more. It rubbed against Daodu's hand, looking for more in Daodu's palm. Chapter 278. Furry seemed to understand. After barking twice, it stopped rubbing against Daodu's little hand. Zhao Yun blinked her eyes, thinking that this Xiao Mao is definitely a spirit. How could a donkey that ate meat understand human language? On second thought, he had spent less than 2 taels of silver to buy such an intelligent donkey. It was quite a good deal. Zhao Yun turned around and was about to go back to the house when Mu Lianfeng quietly followed her. Moreover, it was so quiet that she didn't notice it at all. So this time, she bumped into Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng gasped in pain. Zhao Yun quickly asked, Young Master Mu, how are you? Are you okay? I'm fine. Mu Lianfeng endured the pain and gasped. I think I'm bleeding. Zhao Yun smelled a faint scent of blood. Although it wasn't strong, she could still smell it. Is that so? Mu Lianfeng frowned slightly. He didn't expect the situation to be so serious. Let's go. Hurry into the house. I'll take care of it for you, Zhao Yun said a little nervously. Mu Lianfeng nodded. Okay, let's go in then. The two of them entered the house together. Zhao Yun brought over a basin of hot water. First, she removed the white cloth from Mu Lianfeng's wound. The wound that had already scabbed over had a small gash because she bumped into it, and it was bleeding. Zhao Yun quickly wiped it with a hot towel. Then, she put on a new bandage and used the white cloth to bandage Mu Lianfeng's wound again. After busying herself for a while, she concentrated so much that her body felt a little hot and a layer of cold sweat appeared on her forehead. No matter what, she had to take a good bath today. Because of Mu Lianfeng, Zhao Yun hadn't bathed much during this period of time. After all, it was only one room, and it was inconvenient. Today, she was drenched in feces and sweated so much. If she didn't take a bath, her body would probably stink. Zhao Yun's body was steaming hot, so she pulled at her clothes. She wanted to disperse the rising heat. Mu Lianfeng's gaze followed Zhao Yun's movements. He saw that the clothes in front of her chest were loosened, and he could vaguely see the snowy white inside. And on Zhao Yun's chest, a red flower the size of a flower. Mu Lianfeng's, his heart tightened. A little bit. Unfortunately, Zhao Yun's clothes was still blocked. Mu Lianfeng sat up a little, wanting to see more clearly. He felt that there might be a red lotus mark on Zhao Yun's chest. If it was true, then wouldn't Zhao Yun be the woman who had sex with him that night? All right, young Master Mu, your wound is bandaged. Don't move around anymore. I'll be careful not to touch you. If you get hurt again, it'll be serious, Zhao Yun said. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she raised her head and saw Mu Lianfeng's gaze on her chest. She lowered her head and realized that the clothes on her chest were too loose, and her snow-white chest could be seen. After being stunned for a second, Zhao Yun quickly covered her chest and tidied up her clothes. Young Master Mu, where are you looking at? This Mu Lianfeng looked so serious. Could he be a pervert? Chapter 279. He couldn't possibly say that he wanted to see what was on Zhao Yun's chest, right? I wasn't looking there. Mu Lianfeng originally wanted to ask what kind of mark was on Zhao Yun's chest, but in the end, he didn't ask. If he asked, wouldn't he be admitting that he was staring at Zhao Yun's chest just now? It seemed that he had to take another look and confirm it when he had the chance. He couldn't be sure of it. Of course, he wasn't sure if his eyes were playing tricks on him or if he was thinking too much. Because he thought about it today, he felt that he saw something on Zhao Yun's chest. Then I'll go out first. Young Master Mu, I'm going to take a shower later. Can you stay in the kitchen for a while? Zhao Yun asked. Sure. Mu Lianfeng nodded. Zhao Yun hurriedly covered her chest and ran out. Now, she suddenly felt a sense of danger from Mu Lianfeng. After all, he looked like a gentleman, but in reality, there were many people who were beasts in human clothing. Mu Lianfeng didn't look like that kind of person, but who knew if he was? It was always good for her to be on guard now. What Zhao Yun was more worried about was that she was still sleeping in the same bed as Mu Lianfeng at night. If he made a move on her, it would be really easy. Zhao Yun first went to boil some hot water, then gave Daodu a bath. Finally, she prepared to take a bath herself. Mu Lianfeng also consciously left the room and went to the kitchen. He moved the room out for Zhao Yun to take a bath. Zhao Yun poured the hot water into the wooden basin, added some cold water, and tested the temperature of the water. Then, she put the locust aside and closed the door. After confirming that it was safe, she began to take off her clothes. The clothes that were soaked in sweat and stained with the smell of feces were a little smelly. After she took a bath, she had to go to the river and wash her clothes clean. After finally taking a hot bath, Zhao Yun felt a lot more comfortable. Soaking in the steaming hot bathtub, his pores were all opened. Squinting his eyes, he couldn't wait to lie down and sleep. Unfortunately, she was not allowed to do so. She had to hurry up and wash up, in case Mu Lianfeng waited outside for too long. Mu Lianfeng listened to Zhao Yun and went to the kitchen. But in the evening, a lot of mosquitoes flew out. He still had the smell of blood on him, which attracted mosquitoes even more. After a while, many mosquitoes flew over to bite him. His body itched badly, so Mu Lianfeng came out of the kitchen. Standing in the courtyard, he could clearly hear the sound of water splashing when Zhao Yun was bathing. A thought suddenly popped into Mu Lianfeng's mind. Zhao Yun was taking a bath now, which meant that she must have taken off her clothes. If he took a look, he might be able to see if there was a lotus mark on Zhao Yun's chest. With this thought in mind, he felt that it was too immoral to peek at Zhao Yun bathing. While he was hesitating, Mu Lianfeng had already walked to the side of the house. It was as if there was a voice inciting him to go and take a look. Just as he was about to peek through the gap in the door, Daodu suddenly ran over. Daddy, why are you outside? Chapter 280. Oh, but Mother is bathing. Why are you outside, Father? Daodu didn't even go out when Mother was bathing in the past. Daodu bit his lower lip, looking like he couldn't figure it out. Daodu, that's because you're still a child. It's okay. Father is so old, he can't watch girls bathe. Mu Lianfeng explained. If he told Daodu that men and women shouldn't touch each other, Daodu probably wouldn't understand. Then Daodu can't watch girls bathe when he grows up in the future, right? Daodu looked up and asked. Mu Lianfeng patted Daodu's head. Of course, girls won't casually let you watch them bathe. Then Father, can Daodu watch his wife bathe in the future? Daodu asked softly. The corner of Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched slightly. This child really thought far ahead. How old was he? He was already thinking about his wife. That, Daodu, your wife can be watched. But it depends on your wife. If your wife doesn't let you watch, you can't watch. Oh, then Daodu understands. It's mother who doesn't let father watch her bathe, so father can only watch outside. After Daodu finished speaking, he held his little face and looked sympathetically at Mu Lianfeng. Father, you're so pitiful. It seems like my mother doesn't like you yet. You have to work hard. The corner of Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched slightly. This child was so mischievous. What could he know? However, he also felt that he should work hard when Daodu said that he had to work hard. He wasn't that good at chasing girls. In fact, he was a complete idiot. After all, he didn't like women in the past, and it was even more impossible for him to chase girls and win their favor. Usually, it was the women who chased after him. In this aspect, Helianchen was the best. Could it be that he had to ask Helianchen for advice later? Mu Lianfeng couldn't think of a reason. Then he asked Daodu, Daodu, what does your mother like? My mother likes me. Daodu answered straightforwardly. Mu Lianfeng pinched the bridge of his nose. That's not what father meant. I'm asking if your mother likes anything she likes to eat, use, play, Daodu thought. I don't know. I haven't seen her like anything. Father, why are you asking this? It's nothing. Mu Lianfeng thought that since he wanted to get Zhao Yun's love, he first had to understand her interests and likes. While the two people were chatting, Zhao Yun also finished washing and pushed the door out. She hurriedly beckoned them to enter the house. Mu Lianfeng wasn't in the kitchen. Instead, he was strolling outside. It was very easy for others to see him. If someone saw him, who knew what kind of gossip it would cause? Zhao Yun carried the wooden basin and prepared to wash the clothes she had changed out of by the river. When Mu Lianfeng entered the room, he smelled a faint fragrance. It was very pleasant. They didn't use locusts to bathe in the heir-apparent residence. Compared to the strong floral fragrance of ordinary women, he liked the locust fragrance on Zhao Yun after her bath very much. Zhao Yun finished washing the clothes. The sky gradually darkened. Besides bathing, the water in the house was almost out. Zhao Yun prepared to carry a bucket of water with her other hand. Chapter 281. Zhao Yun turned around and found that it was Zhao Tianhu. Zhao Yun was a little curious. It was so late, how did she know that Zhao Tianhu was still hanging out outside? Shouldn't he be at old Zhao's house? After all, Zhao Tianlong and his fifth uncle had returned. Old Zhao's house should be lively at this time. Hua Chunhua would definitely take out good things to entertain them. Therefore, it was not reasonable for Zhao Tianhu to be outside at this time. Second cousin, why are you still here at this time? Zhao Yun asked. I just came out for a stroll, Zhao Tianhu said. There was some hidden emotions in his eyes. Zhao Yun still caught the disappointment in Zhao Tianhu's eyes. In a bad mood? What was the reason? Zhao Yun was curious, but Zhao Tianhu didn't want to say, so she didn't ask. Zhao Tianhu was taller than Zhao Yun. His arms were longer than Zhao Yun, and his strength was greater than Zhao Yun. Therefore, it was effortless for him to carry a bucket of water from the river. Second cousin, thank you, Zhao Yun thanked him. When he wanted to reach out and take the wooden bucket in Zhao Yun's hand, Zhao Tianhu said, I'll help you send it back. It's a little heavy. Cousin Yun, if you need to do this kind of work in the future, just call me. Zhao Tianhu was kind, but Zhao Yun still didn't expect that her second cousin would become so good. In other words, she didn't have much contact with Zhao Tianhu in the past, so she didn't know how good Zhao Tianhu was. Zhao Yun didn't refuse Zhao Tianhu's kindness and let Zhao Tianhu help her send the water back. Second cousin, thank you. When Zhao Yun saw that it was getting late, she reminded Zhao Tianhu, second cousin, it's getting late. You should hurry back as well. Otherwise, when it's dark and you can't see the road clearly, it's easy to fall. All right. Zhao Tianhu responded. When he was about to turn and leave, he suddenly stopped and turned back to Zhao Yun. Cousin Yuna, you'd better distance yourself from our old Zhao family. Don't let them trap you. After Zhao Tianhu finished speaking, he left. Zhao Yun'er did not even have time to ask Zhao Tianhu why he said such a sentence. The next day, Zhao Yun drove the donkey to deliver Bullfrog and returned from Yang City. Now that they had bought a little donkey, they didn't have to wake up so early in the morning and spent less time on the road. Overall, it was very convenient. This time, they delivered a total of 97 caddies of bullfrog. She got 7 caddies for herself and 90 caddies for Aunt Lu. The total was 2 taels and 80 copper coins. Her share was 2 taels and 180 copper coins. However, because she bought the donkey, she didn't give the money to Aunt Lu last time. This time, she gave Aunt Lu 1.5 taels of silver. When Aunt Lu received the money, she really couldn't believe it. She originally had some doubts about whether Zhao Yuner could really sell it for so much money. Now, she completely believed it. Yuner girl, this money is a little too much, Aunt Lu sighed. At this rate, she would be able to save a lot of money in a few days. After saving for 3 or 4 days, wouldn't she be able to treat her husband's illness? It's a lot, but it wasn't a lot originally. Thanks to Brother Xianxia, we can all earn more, Zhao Yuner said with a smile. Chapter 282. At this rate, she would be able to save up a sum of money very quickly. Our family should thank you. Without you, Xianxi's father's illness could not be cured. Now that he's fine, we don't have to worry too much. Aunt Lu's heart was finally relieved. Zhao Yun was about to say that she should go back when Aunt Lu said, Yun, I'm going to your grandparents' place to drink wine later. Do you want to come with me? Zhao Yun shook her head. She was going to bring Daodu with her, but there was still Mu Lianfeng at home. She had to cook something for him to eat before she could go to old Zhao's place with Daodu. Otherwise, Mu Lianfeng would be hungry. Because Mu Lianfeng was eating alone at noon, Zhao Yun made a simple meal. She made a plate of braised fish and a plate of vegetables. When she brought Daodu to old Zhao's house, there were already many people gathered in the courtyard of old Zhao's house. They were all here to drink wine. The total number of people in the village was estimated to be able to sit at 5 or 6 tables. The person who came to help old Zhao's house cook was a woman in her early 50s. When the villagers held banquets, they would usually invite women who specialized in cooking. Some of them would directly pay, while some of them would bring back some leftover meat dishes after the banquet was over. After all, holding a banquet was considered a big event. If the dishes were not delicious and the guests were not satisfied, the host would inevitably lose face. Although Hu Chunhua was reluctant, this was the only time. He gritted his teeth and invited someone over. After all, none of his wives were tasty. When Zhao Yunner went over, she was not arranged to sit at the table. Basically, the women who came over to drink wine from other families were not at the table in old Zhao's house. Before she came, she did not expect such a situation. Originally, she did not want to come, but when she saw that Zhao Baoshan specially called her, she could not refuse. After all, it was Zhao Tianlong's happy occasion. Zhao Tianlong and Xin Pan did not offend her in any way and treated her well. After thinking about it, she came over. Mother, father asked me to call Yun over to drink wine. Should we arrange for her to sit at the table? Liang Jinxiao asked Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua, who was busy in the kitchen, replied unhappily, why should she sit at the table? When the guests are at the table, all the men in the house are not at the table. Why don't you let her wait in the kitchen? When there are leftovers, can't you just make something to eat? Mother, how can we? Why not? Did your father ask her to sit at the table to eat? Why don't you know the rules at all? You're already so old. Do you still need me to tell you why? Hu Chunhua glared at Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao did not refute. After all, there were no women at the table in the house. Hu Chunhua was not just targeting Zhao Yun. However, it did not seem good to let Zhao Yun come to the kitchen to eat leftovers, right? Liang Jinxiao came out of the kitchen and said to Zhao Yun, Yun, your grandmother asked you to bring Daodu to the kitchen to eat. The guests are sitting at the table. Without Liang Jinxiao's explanation, Zhao Yun understood what he meant. He did not want her to sit at the table. Chapter 283. Mother, forget it. I'll go back and cook something for myself. I'll eat better. I can only eat the leftovers here. Zhao Yun said. Liang Jinxiao sighed and tried to persuade Zhao Yun again. Yun, it'll be troublesome for you to go back and cook. Daoda must be hungry too. It's not leftovers, it's just the leftovers. They haven't touched their chopsticks yet. There's a lot of meat today and it's all good food. You can stay here and eat. You can at least have a good meal. Your grandfather specially asked you to come over. If you go back without eating, your grandfather will probably be unhappy. Mother, it's not about leftovers. Since he asked me to come over, I'm equivalent to a guest. If a guest can eat at the table, why can't I? Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao's words fell into Huo Chunhua's ears. Huo Chunhua didn't expect Zhao Yun to say that. She sneered, "Who do you think you are? It's good enough to give you leftovers. Do you really think you're a guest? Guests come over and give money as gifts. Did you give them anything? If you don't want to eat, then don't eat. Hurry up and go back." Zhao Yun sneered. Old Zhao's family still had the nerve to mention gifts to her. They sold her for 200 taels of silver. Without these 200 taels of silver, Zhao Tianlong wouldn't have the money to study. They probably wouldn't have the chance to hold today's banquet. She didn't want to give any gifts and still wanted to eat at the table. She felt at ease. After all, it was old Zhao's family who owed her. Before Zhao Yun could say anything, Zhao Xinhui walked out of the house, dressed to the nines. The dress she was wearing was the one she had bought from Huo Chunhua when she went to Yang City with Huo Chunhua. It was a pink dress, and the style and color were quite pretty. It was not as good as what the ladies in Yang City wore, but it was definitely eye-catching in the countryside. After all, girls usually wore dark-colored clothes made of coarse cloth. Her face was covered with a thick layer of foundation and rouge, and she even put on the few pieces of jewelry that she had taken yesterday. Zhao Xinhui was beautiful to begin with. Now that she was dressed like this, she did not look like a country bumpkin. However, in Zhao Yun's eyes, Zhao Xinhui had an indescribable tackiness. Sometimes, a person's aura wasn't something that could be emitted through clothing or jewelry. Instead, it was something that was naturally emitted. No matter how well Zhao Xinhui dressed, she didn't look beautiful. In terms of temperament, Mu Lianfeng was more elegant. Even though he was wearing tattered clothes, he still looked very handsome. He had an indescribable aura and a sense of nobility. Zhao Yun's gaze landed on Zhao Xinhui's jewelry. Based on old Zhao's family's financial status, how could they have the money to buy such jewelry? Zhao Yun frowned slightly. She had a bad feeling. Zhao Xinhui hopped in front of old Madame Zhao. "Mother, do you think I look good today?" Huo Chunhua glanced at her and smiled. "You look good, you look good. Of course, my Hui looks good." The attention from the people around her made Zhao Xinhui feel very happy. Since people were looking at her, it meant that she was the center of attention here. She dressed so well that others were stunned. "Mother, I'm hungry," Zhao Xinhui said again. Why don't you wait in the kitchen? Or go inside the house and I'll bring you the leftovers when I have them." Chapter 284. If she went to the kitchen to eat, first of all, she would be eating leftovers. She didn't want to eat them. Second of all, she was so pretty. She had to go up on the table to show others. She didn't want to waste her efforts today. Since she was dressed up beautifully, she should show others. Before Huo Chunhua could persuade her, Zhao Xinhui pouted. Seeing that Zhao Xinhui was unhappy, Huo Chunhua quickly said, Okay. Come to the table. Come to the table and eat, okay?" Zhao Xinhui then revealed a satisfied smile. "The mother. I know you treat me the best." Seeing old Madame Zhao's completely different attitude, Zhao Yin was a little angry. She didn't want to eat this meal, but Huo Chunhua's attitude and actions made her very unhappy. "Grandma, isn't this table for the guests? Why is Auntie sitting here too? If others see, they'll think that old Zhao's family doesn't know the rules." "Zhao Yun, you're such a busybody. I can sit wherever I want. Do you think I'm like you? You've done so many shameful things and can't be seen in public." Zhao Xinhui mocked and ridiculed Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun, hated it the most when people kept talking about her pregnancy before marriage. If it was really her doing, then so be it. However, it was clearly old Zhao's family who sold her. They took the money, but she still had to bear the family's infamy. How could this be? Zhao Yun walked in front of Zhao Xinhui and slapped Zhao Xinhui's face. Since she didn't know how to speak, then she would teach her well and let her know how to speak. Slap. A loud sound was heard. Zhao Xinhui felt a burning pain on her face. She didn't expect Zhao Yun to slap her. How dare you hit me? So what if I hit you? You don't know how to talk. If your parents don't teach you a lesson, of course I have to teach you a lesson. You bitch. Father, mother, hurry up and beat her to death. Do you think she's talking like a human? Zhao Xinhui roared with a ferocious expression. When Zhao Yun slapped Zhao Xinhui, she didn't know how many layers of powder had fallen off her face. Looking at her now, Zhao Xinhui no longer had any sense of beauty. She looked more like a monster. B*TCH? Zhao Yun snorted. Don't you know how to talk? When Zhao Xinhui was caught off guard, Zhao Yun twisted her arm again. Zhao Xinhui screamed. Hurry up and let go of me. What if you ruin my clothes? Can you afford to pay for it? And my jewelry. Zhao Xinhui's heart ached more for her clothes and jewelry. She was afraid that Zhao Yun would ruin her things. Zhao Yun's gaze fell on Zhao Xinhui's bracelet again. She reached over with her other hand and removed the bracelet from Zhao Xinhui's wrist. Then, with a gentle push, Zhao Xinhui was pushed out. Zhao Xinhui panicked when she saw the bracelet in Zhao Yun's hand. She shouted at Zhao Yun, Zhao Yun, hurry up and return the bracelet to me. Return it to you? Zhao Yun's lips curled into a cold smile. Just as the few of them were making a fuss, the noise attracted the attention of others in the courtyard. Many people started to gather around them. It was good that there were more people. She wanted to expose old Zhao's family in front of everyone. Chapter 285. Hua Chunhua didn't dare to make a move because she knew that she couldn't beat Zhao Yun. Snatch her things? Did I snatch her things? Zhao Yun asked in return. She wasn't a fool. How could old Zhao's family afford such a gold bracelet? In addition to the other jewelry on Zhao Xinhui's body, it was more than 200 taels of silver. It seemed that after she left yesterday, young Master Meng's things weren't sent back, but were kept by Hua Chunhua. Zhao Yun couldn't help but be angry when she thought of this. How greedy was this old Zhao's family? They actually kept young Master Meng's things behind her back. After being questioned by Zhao Yun, Hua Chunhua lost her confidence for a moment. This, grandmother, this was given by young Master Meng yesterday, right? Can you explain to me what's going on? Zhao Yun stared coldly at Hua Chunhua. That gaze seemed to be able to eat people. Hua Chunhua was so scared that she shivered. After all, she was a little guilty. Before Hua Chunhua could answer, Zhao Xinhui suddenly became anxious. She rushed up and wanted to snatch the bracelet from Zhao Yun's hands. If this little slut knew that the bracelet belonged to young Master Meng, she definitely wouldn't give it to her. Zhao Yun moved her body slightly and let her pass. This caused Zhao Xinhui to stagger and almost fall. What? You still want to snatch it from me? Hua Chunhua forced a smile and said softly to Zhao Yun, girl, young Master Meng's things are expensive. There are so many good things. Why did you reject him? Grandmother was afraid that you would regret it in the future, so she took it for you first. Zhao Yun sneered. It was true. She said mockingly, Grandma, since you said that, should I thank you? Yun, I didn't mean it that way, but it's really for your own good. Think about it, with so much money, you and Daoist won't have to live a hard life anymore. In the future, our family will use this money to build a big house. You and Daoist can move here too. We can live together and take care of each other, Hua Chunhua said with a gentle smile, trying her best to please Zhao Yun. Now, Hua Chunhua suddenly regretted not letting Zhao Yun eat at the table. Now, so many things had happened. Zhao Yun gleaned a lot of information from Hua Chunhua's words. This old woman was really thick-skinned. She even wanted to take her money and use it with the entire old Zhao family. Building a house? She even said that. She used young Master Meng's money to let the entire old Zhao family live a comfortable life, and then pretended to be magnanimous and accept her and Daodu to live together. Her wishful thinking was not bad. Grandma, since you helped me keep this money first, hand it over to me now. My things are naturally kept by me, Zhao Yun'er said. She put her hands on her hips and asked Hua Chunhua to hand over the money. Hua Chunhua originally wanted to keep it for herself. If Zhao Yun'er wanted it back, wouldn't it be equivalent to making her heart bleed? Yun'er, it's not safe to give so much money to you. Grandma will keep it for you. It's easy for thieves to enter your house. Hua Chunhua's mouth twitched, and she said with an ugly smile. Whether it's safe or not is my business. You just have to return it to me. Chapter 286. Since she couldn't persuade Zhao Yun, she could only use force with Zhao Yun. Hua Chunhua's words were a little harsh, thinking that this would make Zhao Yun obedient. Grandmother, you also said that this is the rule of old Zhao's family, but now that I've moved out, whether it's the place where I live or the household register, it has nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Why do I still need you to take care of my things now? Zhao Yun sneered and questioned. Even if you've moved out, you're still a member of old Zhao's family, so your things have to be taken care of by me. Enough, don't be so shameless. The villagers are all watching. Don't you have the nerve to say this? When you chased Daodu and I out, why didn't you think that we're old Zhao's family? Anyway, now that I've set up a female household, no matter what, I have nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Don't come over to curry favor with me just because I have something good. It could be said that Zhao Yun mercilessly exposed Hua Chunhua. In front of everyone, she didn't give Hua Chunhua any face at all. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she hurriedly used public opinion to create momentum. She called out to the onlookers who came over to watch and said to these people, uncles and aunties, come over and judge for me. Someone sent me a lot of things. We've already moved out, but my grandmother still wants to take my things. With Zhao Yun'er's shout, more and more people came over to join in the fun. Everyone was talking about it, and Zhao Yun didn't avoid the topic and told them everything. Many people saw young Master Meng's people driving the carriage to deliver things, so they naturally believed Zhao Yun'er's words. Many people began to criticize. She's already a grandmother. She can't be like this. Since they've separated from the family and Yun has established a separate female household, then her things must be kept by herself. That's right. I think Hua Chunhua just wants to pocket her granddaughter's things. That's right. It sounds nice to say that we're a family now. Back then, Yuna was working hard to raise the child alone, but she didn't do anything to help. She even chased Yuna out. Although the villagers were chattering softly, their words still fell into Hua Chunhua's ears. No matter how thick-skinned Hua Chunhua was, she still needed to maintain her dignity in front of so many people in the village. Aunt Lu also stood out and directly spoke up for Zhao Yuna. I say, Yun'er's grandmother, you have to return Yun'er's things to her. Otherwise, how can you justify it? If Yun'er is willing to let you keep it, then you can have it. If she's not willing to give it to you, then do you want to keep it for yourself? Hua Chunhua replied with a red face, who wants to keep the girl's things? Aren't they also old Zhao's things? You're wrong. Yun'er isn't considered a member of old Zhao's family now. When did an outsider like you get to meddle in our old Zhao's affairs? Hua Chunhua said with some displeasure. Anyway, it wasn't a big deal. She couldn't bear to give so much money to Zhao Yuna. No matter what, she had to keep it by her side. Hua Chunhua's attitude made the other villagers a little uncomfortable. It's not for us outsiders to meddle in this. We're just being reasonable. What you're doing is wrong. That's right, that's right. Even if you want to bully others, you can't bully them like this. Yun'er is really a pitiful child. Chapter 287. That's right. Let's find Li Zheng and see what else she has to say. Li Zheng Lu Fugue, was also walking over when they were talking about him. Zhao Baoshan personally went to pick up Lu Fugui. The two of them walked one after the other and arrived at old Zhao's courtyard. As soon as they arrived, they heard that they were looking for Li Zheng. Lu Fugui thought that something had happened, so he walked over to ask about the situation. Zhao Yun didn't even need to explain. These villagers who couldn't stand it had already helped Zhao Yun explain the situation. Lu Fugui heard and said, "This matter is indeed Yun's grandmother's fault. Back then, when Yun separated from the household, it was your old Zhao's family who personally suggested it. Since it has been separated, no matter what it is, it should be returned to its owner. Yun's things also have to be returned to her." Hua Chunhua was extremely unwilling, but since Lu Fugui said so, she couldn't offend Li Zheng. Zhao Baoshan also heard the situation from the side and his face darkened. "Old woman, I didn't know about this matter. You actually helped Yun accept the things that others sent over. I say, why are you so greedy? How can you accept other people's things so casually? Now, no matter what, hurry up and return the things to Yun." Forced by Lu Fugui and Zhao Baoshan, Hua Chunhua had no choice but to say, "Yes, yes, yes. Return them to Yun, okay? Aren't I helping her keep them?" Hua Chunhua's voice gradually became softer, and her mouth was murmuring something. Zhao Yun added in front of everyone, "Grandmother, although I don't know what young Master Meng sent over, I will return it to him later. If he says that something is missing, then it must be you who kept it. I hope you don't play any tricks." Hua Chunhua's thoughts were immediately guessed by Zhao Yun, which made her even angrier. This little b** Tisich was becoming more and more annoying. "I know. Who's missing anything from you? Seriously? That's good." Zhao Yun's lips curled into a smile. "All right, everyone sit down. The banquet will start soon." Zhao Baoshan hurriedly called out. He didn't want to affect the festive atmosphere today. Seeing that the matter was over, the villagers returned to their seats. Zhao Xinhui was still unwilling to give up. He walked up to Zhao Yun and said, "Zhao Yun, give me back my bracelet." "Auntie, did you make a mistake? This belongs to me. Why should I return it to you?" "My mother said it's mine, so it's mine. Are you going to give it to me or not?" "Of course not." Zhao Yun put her hands on her waist, looking like she was saying, "Come and snatch it if you have the ability." Hua Chunhua hurriedly said, "All right, don't ask for it." Zhao Xinhui stomped her feet angrily. "Mother, I like that bracelet. She said it's for me. All right, all right. If our family has money in the future, we'll buy it for you, all right?" Zhao Xinhui didn't believe it in her heart. She also knew that Hua Chunhua wouldn't help her get it back this time. No matter how unwilling she was, there was nothing she could do. Zhao Xinhui was about to turn around and sit down at the table when Zhao Yun stopped her. "Auntie, you forgot to return something to me." Although Zhao Yun had a smile on her face, it made people feel a cold aura. Chapter 288. There was a hint of coldness in Zhao Yun's eyes. "Auntie, do you really not know, or are you pretending not to know? What are you trying to say?" Zhao Xinhui glared at Zhao Yun angrily. "Since Auntie doesn't know, then I won't waste my breath." Zhao Yun pulled Zhao Xinhui over and removed the necklace and hairpin from her body. Zhao Xinhui exploded when she saw that Zhao Yun had taken away her last two precious pieces of jewelry. "Give them back to me! Give them back to me! Give them back to me!" Zhao Xinhui suddenly screamed crazily. "What do you mean give them back to you? These are mine." Zhao Yun smiled and completely ignored Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Yun put away the three pieces of jewelry and held Daoist's hand. "Daoist, let's go. Let's not attend this wedding banquet. Mother will make something better for you when we go back." Daoist smelled the fragrance in the kitchen and couldn't help but lick the corner of his mouth. But after glancing at Zhao Yun, he nodded obediently. "Okay, mother. Daoist will go back and eat with you." "Zhao Yun, I won't let you off," Zhao Xinhui said and rushed into the house angrily. Zhao Baoshan and Zhao Yun's uncle, Zhao Wenshi, came forward to persuade Zhao Yun, or when they saw that she was about to leave. Yun, lass, why don't you stay for the wedding banquet? Today is a good day. Don't be so unhappy as a family, Zhao Baoshan said. Yuner, give your uncle some face and stay for the meal. Your eldest cousin brother is all thanks to you. Zhao Wenshi said. It was likely that Zhao Baoshan had already told Zhao Yun, or what Zhao Yuner knew. Zhao Yuner didn't know if the two of them were doing this out of guilt or because they wanted to please her. They were afraid that she would tell others about what they had done. No, we'll be eating leftovers if we stay. Although my family is poor, we're not that poor. I'll leave with Daoist first. Later, Grandpa, remember to remind Grandma to send the things to me after the banquet. Zhao Yun left the sentence and pulled Daoist out of old Zhao's courtyard. For some people, there was no need for her to give them any face. When they returned, Mu Lianfeng had just finished eating. However, he didn't seem to have much of an appetite for eating alone. He only ate a small piece of the braised fish and didn't eat much of the vegetables. Seeing that Zhao Yun and Daoist had returned, Mu Lianfeng asked, Yun, have you and Daoist finished eating so quickly? No, we haven't eaten. However, we didn't eat and came back with a stomach full of anger. Zhao Yun was still angry when she thought about it. Other than Hua Chunhua and the others, there were also her parents' things. It was fine if Hua Chunhua didn't say anything about accepting young Master Meng's things. After all, she wanted to keep them for herself. However, her parents didn't tell her about such an important matter. If she hadn't discovered it today, would she still be in the dark? These two people shouldn't trick their daughter like this, right? Didn't they think of the consequences? After accepting young Master Meng's things, did they really think that such a person was easy to deal with? Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yun, panting with anger for the first time, but he felt that she was even more adorable. Yun, if you're willing, you can talk to me. You don't feel comfortable keeping this anger bottled up in your heart, right? At the same time, Mu Lianfeng handed Zhao Yun a cup of water. Zhao Yun took it and drank it. Chapter 289. Zhao Yun then explained the situation to Mu Lianfeng. Although she didn't mention much, Mu Lianfeng understood the situation. After listening to Zhao Yun's story, Mu Lianfeng felt that Zhao Yun and Daoist's life were too hard. The Zhao family was obviously bullying Zhao Yun, and he was more worried about the Lord Meng that Zhao Yun mentioned. He only hoped that Lord Meng wouldn't cause trouble for Zhao Yun. Otherwise, the heir mansion had many ways to deal with him. Miss Yun, you're still young. If it's possible, you can remarry and find a man to rely on. Mu Lianfeng wanted to say that she could try to consider him. He was rich and powerful, and no one dared to offend him. If she married him and had his protection, no one would dare to do anything to her in Yang City, not to mention the entire Dezhou country. It depends on who I rely on. Ordinary men are unreliable. Lord Meng isn't an ordinary man. He has to be at least a member of the royal family. Lord Mu, do you think I'm that lucky? Actually, you can consider me, Mu Lianfeng said as if he was joking. This was the second time that Mu Lianfeng had hinted like this. Zhao Yun couldn't help but wonder if this man was really interested in her. When Zhao Yun was silent, Zhao Xinhui's voice came from outside the house. Come out. I'll teach you a lesson. If you know what's good for you, give me back my things. Zhao Yun frowned. Why was it this woman again? She was like a dog's skin plaster, and she couldn't get rid of her no matter how hard she tried. She thought that Zhao Xinhui had become obedient, but she didn't expect that she would follow her to her house. Different situations call for different measures. Zhao Yun was not afraid of Zhao Xinhui. She wanted to see what kind of tricks Zhao Xinhui would use later. Daoist, stay in the house. Don't go out, okay? Zhao Yun was afraid that Zhao Xinhui would hurt Zhao Yun. I know, mother. You have to be careful too. If Andy bullies you, just shout. Daoist and father will come to save you. Daoist reminded her seriously. Zhao Yun scratched Daoist's little nose and smiled at Daoist. Daoist, here's at least wait until he was a little older. Zhao Yun walked out of the house. She didn't want to go out and talk to Zhao Xinhui, but she was afraid that this woman would break into her house if she didn't come out. Then she might find Mu Lianfeng. "Auntie, I said it's mine. Why are you asking for it? Didn't you understand what I said before? Don't tell me you don't understand human language. Do you need me to repeat it? Anyway, you have to give it to me. Young Master Meng gave you so many things. What's the big deal if you give me these? I'm your elder. You have to be filial to me." "Auntie, you're really putting on airs. I haven't even been filial to my parents. It's not your turn." "It looks like you're refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit." Zhao Xinhui rushed over angrily. Zhao Yuna could deal with someone like Zhao Xinhui with one hand. But what she didn't expect was that when she grabbed Zhao Xinhui's hand, Zhao Xinhui took out her other hand. She was holding a pair of scissors. Chapter 290. Zhao Yun was caught off guard and Zhao Xinhui's move was too unexpected. Zhao Yun did not even have a chance to resist. She had really underestimated her aunt. She thought that Zhao Xinhui was just a little bad-tempered, but she would not dare to do such a thing. Now, she realized that there was nothing Zhao Xinhui was afraid of. Zhao Xinhui was very pleased with herself when she saw that the scissors were about to cut Zhao Yun's face. Previously, she had rushed into her house to look for the scissors. Now that her parents were no longer holding her back, she could give Zhao Yun a good look. Just as the scissors were a few centimeters away from Zhao Yun's face, a teacup flew out of the house and hit Zhao Xinhui's hand. Zhao Xinhui's hand hurt and she let go of the scissors in her hand. The scissors fell to the ground and Zhao Yun avoided being stabbed by the scissors. Mu Lianfeng walked out of the house and stood in front of Zhao Yun. He asked Zhao Yun with concern, "Yun, how are you? Are you hurt?" Zhao Yun shook her head. "I'm fine." Fortunately, Mu Lianfeng had acted in time. If he had not acted in time, her face might have been cut. Zhao Xinhui heard a man's voice and saw a man dressed in black walking out of Zhao Yun's house. She cursed loudly, "Zhao Yun, you be asterisk. You're really shameless. How dare you hide a wild man in your house? I'll go tell the villagers now." Zhao Xinhui's tone was filled with schadenfreude. This could be considered to have caught Zhao Yun his weakness and could be used to deal with Zhao Yun. Perhaps Zhao Yun would be afraid and negotiate with her to give her the jewelry. When Zhao Xinhui said this, Zhao Yun's heart tightened. She had to admit that she was a little scared. Paper couldn't contain fire. After such a long time, Mu Lianfeng was finally discovered. However, when Zhao Xinhui took a closer look at Mu Lianfeng, he was stunned. Mu Lianfeng's handsome face was very familiar. "Your Highness?" Zhao Xinhui asked with uncertainty. He rubbed his eyes and looked at it again to make sure that he wasn't seeing things. Other than Mu Lianfeng's rustic clothes, there wasn't much difference in other aspects. Especially his face. Not everyone had such a handsome face. Last time in Yang City, Zhao Xinhui had a deep impression of Mu Lianfeng. Zhao Yun's heart was worried, but Mu Lianfeng's face was indifferent. He lightly said to Zhao Xinhui, "Since you know this Shizi's identity, then why did you say that this Shizi is a wild man?" Although Mu Lianfeng spoke indifferently, his aura was still there. Zhao Xinhui didn't dare to offend him. He hurriedly began to apologize. "Your Highness, it's all my fault. How could you be a wild man? I didn't recognize you just now and thought that Zhao Yun had brought a wild man home." Zhao Xinhui was curious. Why would Mu Lianfeng be in Zhao Yun's house? With Mu Lianfeng's identity, it didn't make sense. However, Zhao Xinhui looked at Zhao Yun with jealousy in his eyes. He began to criticize Zhao Yun in front of Mu Lianfeng. "Your Highness, you don't know that my niece likes to bring wild men home. Otherwise, her belly wouldn't be so big. That's why I misunderstood you." Chapter 291. Zhao Yun did not intend to let Zhao Xinhui off so easily. Since Zhao Xinhui dared to be so ruthless to her, wouldn't it be too easy for her to let her off so easily? Zhao Yun walked in front of Zhao Xinhui and slapped both sides of Zhao Xinhui's face a few times. This time, she did not show any mercy. Zhao Xinhui's face was swollen and it would probably take at least 10 days to half a month for the swelling to go away. Ah, Zhao Xinhui howled like a wolf. Zhao Yun'er said coldly, "Shut up. If you shout again, I'll cut your face." Zhao Yun'er pointed the scissors at Zhao Xinhui. In fact, she was afraid that Zhao Xinhui's voice would be too loud and alert the other villagers. When Zhao Xinhui saw Zhao Yun'er pointing the scissors at her, she did not dare to shout anymore. She endured the pain and quickly closed her mouth. The Zhao Xinhui of the past could not bear such grievances. She cried pitifully and looked very aggrieved. Zhao Xinhui looked at Mu Lianfeng for help. She choked and said to Mu Lianfeng, "Your Highness, look. Zhao Yun'er is guilty. She saw that I told her the truth and she treated me like this. Your Highness, you have to help me seek justice." As Zhao Xinhui spoke, she even cast a few coquettish glances at Mu Lianfeng, thinking that Mu Lianfeng would take pity on her and help her on account of her good looks. Zhao Yun'er was disgusted by Zhao Xinhui. She was afraid that Zhao Xinhui did not know what her face had become and still thought that she was as beautiful as a flower. She looked at Mu Lianfeng sympathetically. She did not know how Mu Lianfeng felt when he met Zhao Xinhui's eyes. Mu Lianfeng's reaction was normal. He raised the corner of his mouth and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Miss Yun'er, I think that you were a little too gentle. Your sister-in-law doesn't seem to know what's good for her. I've never hit women, so there's no harm in helping you teach her a lesson this time." Zhao Xinhui looked at Mu Lianfeng in horror. She did not expect Mu Lianfeng to do this. "Your Highness, I beg you, let me go. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Let me go." The speed at which Zhao Xinhui admitted defeat was really fast. Mu Lianfeng raised the corner of his mouth slightly and said to Zhao Xinhui in a condescending manner, "Since you don't want me to do it myself, you can do it yourself. It's impossible for me to let you go just like that. After all, everyone has to be responsible for their own mistakes. Don't you think so?" Mu Lianfeng spoke casually, but there was a tone in his voice that brooked no refusal. Zhao Yun'er only noticed Mu Lianfeng's imposing manner at this moment. This man in front of her was as tall and straight as a mountain. The sunlight fell on his body, as if he was covered with a layer of holy light. Zhao Yun'er had never been protected by a man like this before. This feeling was indescribably wonderful. Zhao Xinhui glanced at Mu Lianfeng. "Your Highness, I'll slap myself a few times." Zhao Xinhui slapped her own face. "Slap, slap, slap. Isn't it a little too light? I can't hear anything," Mu Lianfeng said calmly. Zhao Yun'er was almost amused by Mu Lianfeng. It was so loud, but he said that he couldn't hear anything. It was obvious that he was making fun of Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui hurriedly slapped herself a few more times. Her swollen face became even more swollen. This time, some blood flowed out of her mouth. Seeing that it was about time, Mu Lianfeng asked Zhao Xinhui to stop. Chapter 292. Your Highness, have you forgiven me? Zhao Xinhui asked. Because her face was swollen, her words were a little muffled. Seeing Zhao Xinhui like this, Zhao Yun'er suppressed her laughter in her heart. Bitches had to be dealt with eventually. This time, Zhao Xinhui had suffered a lot. She probably wouldn't jump around too much for the time being. She was afraid that she would forget the pain after the scar healed. "Did I say that I forgave you?" Mu Lianfeng asked indifferently with raised eyebrows. Zhao Xinhui's heart tightened and she looked at Mu Lianfeng in confusion. She asked, "Then what does your Highness mean? I remember that you wanted to tell the villagers about me and Yun'er here and publicize it, didn't you? You'd better keep your mouth shut. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." Mu Lianfeng threatened. Zhao Xinhui didn't dare to disobey. Moreover, Zhao Yun'er's family was your Highness, not some random man. She didn't intend to tell anyone. In the future, she might even come to Zhao Yun'er's place often and seduce Mu Lianfeng. Yes. Your Highness, don't worry. I don't think I'll tell anyone. Mu Lianfeng was relieved and told Zhao Xinhui to get out of here quickly. Seeing Zhao Xinhui's back view leaving, Zhao Yun felt good in her heart. She looked forward to seeing Zhao Xinhui's reaction when she saw her swollen face. Let's go inside. Mu Lianfeng said gently to Zhao Yun. His attitude was very different from how he treated Zhao Xinhui just now. Zhao Yun was in a good mood. Mu Lianfeng's image in her heart was even higher. Dao Du praised Mu Lianfeng as soon as they entered the room. Father, you're so amazing. You protected Mother. Mu Lianfeng rubbed Dao Du's head. Of course. Father is a man. Of course, I should protect you and Mother. The three of them laughed together and the atmosphere was harmonious. Zhao Yun was in a trance, and she felt like they were a family. After the banquet at old Zhao's house, under Zhao Baoshan's arrangement, Hua Chunhua returned all of young Master Meng's things to Zhao Yun. Mother, take a look. We've already used the scissors on this piece of cloth to make clothes for me. We can't return it back. Let's keep it. It's just a bolt of cloth anyway. Young Master Meng might not even remember it, Zhao Xinhui said vaguely as she tugged at Hua Chunhua. When she came back and saw her own face, she almost went crazy with anger. Now, she didn't even dare to leave the house. She had to wait at home for the swelling on her face to disappear before she dared to go out. Hua Chunhua looked at Zhao Xinhui with a pained expression. That's true. It's just a bolt of cloth. Young Master Meng definitely doesn't remember it. That little bitch beat you up like this. She should at least leave some interest. Then Mother, let's keep 3 pieces of jewelry. The jewelry is too expensive. He might be able to tell. The cloth isn't cheap either, but he probably won't pay attention to this. Let's keep the cloth, Hua Chunhua said. Zhao Xinhui thought about it and agreed. It was better to have such expensive cloth than to have nothing. After checking the things that young Master Meng sent over, Zhao Baoshan said to Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao, third brother's wife, I reckon that Yun is angry with us now. You guys can send these things over, okay? Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao nodded. Hey, father. We'll send them over. Chapter 293. The cart was made of wood, and it was a common transportation tool in the countryside. Hua Chunhua looked at the cart full of goods being taken away. She was reluctant to part with them. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao delivered the goods to Zhao Yun's house. Zhao Yun didn't have a good attitude towards her parents. Instead of being angry with them, it was more like she was disappointed. When would she be able to change her parents' stubborn personalities? If they continued to be like this, she would be killed by them. It would be better for her to cut off her relationship with her parents before she was killed, so that she wouldn't have such a miserable ending. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao weren't fools. They could tell that Zhao Yun didn't want to talk to them. Yuna, are you mad at me? Liang Jinqiao asked cautiously. He didn't dare to look into Zhao Yun's eyes. Mother, do you think I should be mad at you? Liang Jinqiao roughly guessed what Zhao Yun was thinking. What else could Zhao Yun be mad at? She was mad that Hua Chunhua didn't tell her that Hua Chunhua had received gifts from Lord Meng. Liang Jinqiao sighed and explained to Zhao Yun, Yun, I was going to tell you, but I thought you would make a fuss if you knew. Today is your eldest cousin brother's wedding. I wanted to tell you after the banquet. Zhao Yun roughly understood Liang Jinqiao's meaning. According to Liang Jinqiao, if she knew in advance, she would definitely make a fuss with old Zhao's family. It was meaningless to talk about it now, and Zhao Yun didn't want to think about it anymore. Mother, this is the last time. In the future, if old Zhao's family has anything to do with me, you must inform me as soon as possible. Zhao Yun exhorted. Seeing the nervousness and guilt in Liang Jinqiao's eyes, Zhao Yun couldn't bear it. I will, Yun. Mother won't do that again. Zhao Yun replied faintly. Zhao Yun moved all the things into her room. Young Master Meng was really generous. All the things he sent over were good things. With so much money, who knew how many beautiful women he could buy? Zhao Yun couldn't figure out why young Master Meng was interested in her. It was indeed not safe for her to keep these things in her rundown house. Tomorrow she would go to Yang City to find out where young Master Meng lived and send these things to him. Early the next morning, Zhao Yun sent Bullfrog to Sun Zhangquan's place. After settling the bill, she went to find out. Young Master Meng was considered a figure in Yang City, so it wasn't difficult to find his residence. Zhao Yun quickly found the Meng residence. There was a manservant guarding the entrance of the Meng residence. He stopped Zhao Yun and didn't let Zhao Yun in. "Little brother, I'm here to return these things today. Please help me and inform your family's young master." The manservant saw that although Zhao Yun's clothes were a little shabby, she looked delicate and pretty. She didn't have the rustic temperament of a country girl. He had a good impression of Zhao Yun. Coupled with the sweet smile on Zhao Yun's face, the manservant couldn't bear to refuse. Thus he said to Zhao Yun, "Then wait here. I'll go and inform my family's young master. Then, little brother, I'll have to trouble you. Just say that my name is Zhao Yun." "Okay." The manservant went in to report. Soon, young Master Meng came out. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.